Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode. Man, we've already lasted episode 2. This is stupid. It's never lasted, but here we are again. Episode 2 of the WCW podcast. As always, this is King Hippo along with my co-host, EGP Wonder Chef.
Hello there.
There you go. He sounds a lot better this week, folks, so hopefully you can understand him better.
It's considerably better.
So, this is a pretty interesting week, I think, in Injustice activity. I'll start with talking about one of the bigger things that was last weekend was the Defend the North event. It took place in, I think, was it New York? New Jersey?
I think it was New York. I think it was somewhere in New York.
Yeah, I think it was in New York. Yeah, because it was local for a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, New York, top 3, I believe, was Rico Suave was first, and then Darth Arma, and then Rio.
Mm-hmm. Return of Rio.
Right, the big return of Rio with Martian Manhunter. Pretty controversial as Rico won with his Aquaman. And if you watched it, you literally saw him down one trident, Darth Arma to death.
Yes, it's been a whole week of talking about Aquaman on the forums.
I agree. And I think this all can come down to, I mean, we were going to get to it eventually, but let's just cut to the chase. This all comes down to Tom saying Trident Rush sucks. Like, remember how he said 90% of the cast could punish it?
Yeah.
Is he high?
I don't know, man. I don't know what he's talking about. But I did post a pig in the thread. To be clear, a well-spaced Trident Rush, there's really almost nothing that can punish it. There are some supers that punish it, really fast supers.
Right.
Shazam gets a really good mix-up off of it, which it sort of can be spaced out, but it's really hard. And then Aquaman himself can actually punish it with forward 2, but a well-spaced Meteorburn Trident Rush is nearly unpunishable, basically.
Yep. And we saw that. That's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what... I mean, Tom, before... It was the day before Top 8, the morning that we made the that whole tier list thread, which we can talk about later.
Right,
but, yeah, we were still up, and Tom got on the call with us because he was on Revolver's phone for some reason, and he was talking to us about how Trident Rush, he's like, I tried that whole Trident Rush style, and it just made me worse. It's not good. It's not a good style. It just made me worse. And, I don't know what he's getting at, man. Trident Rush is
It couldn't be much worse than he already fucking is.
Dang. All right, so you're going straight to there, huh?
I mean, let's be serious. Okay, let's be real. And if Theo was here, he would back me up on this. You could literally name every major tournament. And you can name an Aquaman that plays higher than him. That wasn't ECT. It was post ECT.
We have talked about that.
We have talked about this, yes.
Let's see, there was... Which one was it that Insane placed higher than him and beat RTD? Who
beat him?
Did beat Tom, yeah. Was that...
One of those East Coast fucking tournaments, I don't know.
Yeah, it was one of the million.
Yeah. But it happened, and it's like... Tom he kind of reminds me of Juicebox. You remember Juicebox?
Yes.
Okay. Kind of reminds me of Juicebox because they feel like they're playing smarter than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, well, I don't dumb my style down. And I'm like, idiot, that's the point. Like, why are you playing on Yomi level 3 when they're still at level 1? You're being yourself.
Yeah,
I hate when people do that. God, I'm playing so smart. Why can't I win? Because you're not playing smart, really.
Yeah, there's a big misconception that what was I going to say? There was a big misconception that if you always choose the most mathematically smart choice, or what's known to work, and your opponent does something stupid, that they're like a scrub. But
yeah.
I mean, there is never a right choice. I think we actually talked about this a little bit last podcast. There's never a right choice in fighting games. It's always based on conditioning and reads. So sometimes the stupid choice is the correct choice.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So I see people like that.
Have you ever seen that video? It's an early Street Fighter 4. This is dating ourselves. This is the GameStop National Tournament in 2009, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they brought in a lot of foreign players, and 2 of them were Daigo and Io, who's a really good Dawson player.
Mm-hmm.
And during their fight, midway through it, Daigo's literally on the pixel. He's one stand high punch away from dying. He's been throwing fireballs the whole match and keeps getting stand high punched. The last time he goes into fireball range, and he just assure you into super.
Yep.
And it hits him full screen and kills him. It's the dumbest thing you've ever seen. But immediately you understand, okay, I get why he did that. Dumbest thing in the world, but you understand why he did it.
Yeah, I mean...
And that's what I think. If you think it's dumb in the moment, you can look back and go, yeah, oh yeah, that makes sense why I did that.
Yeah, I mean, he conditioned him to think that he was safe to throw those out infinitely, you know?
Right.
That's what it's all about. But you think Tom's a player like that?
No.
Oh, I should say a player that doesn't take advantage of that, is what I should say.
I don't think so.
What do you think about Tom? What kind of player do you think Tom is?
I've always felt he's one of those players who tries to play with zero risk, and that doesn't work. I've tried it myself. I went through this whole phase where it's like, all right, I'm not going to do anything. I'll time out all day if I have to. I don't think it works that way. I think you can't have the risk reward. It's all in every fighting game, and it will always be there. So to me, there's no point in literally just going like, okay, I'll never do something stupid. You kind of have to. Because and it's kind of weird to say this, you are predictable if that's what you do.
Yeah, definitely.
If they know all you're going to do is sit and wait, then that's what's going to happen. We actually saw this. Remember SCR last year? We saw Wound versus Pig. Pig is one of those guys who will get ultra defensive when he's trying to close around. Wound literally hit him with 15 Soul Crush steals. Remember that in their match?
Yeah.
Hit him 15 times with it. And then finally it wore him down enough. And I'm like, Wound was being smart because he was just doing that, and it was frustrating him, but he was being predictive. He was being super defensive, and it's just should have jumped one of them, man. Now, of course, This is easy to say from the outside.
Yeah, of course. But
yeah, of course. They know I'm right, so hush.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm surprised for Tom that he doesn't use Trident and Rush if he does play that style, because I think that is the perfect tool for someone to be able to play that style, to play a safe style. I mean, nobody in the game gets as much guaranteed chip as safely as Trident Rush, you know?
Right. It's like Honda.
Yeah, basically, but better, in my opinion.
Right, in every way.
Yeah.
That's a Honda with a projectile. A crafting projectile that goes full screen.
Yeah,
he's he's literally a defensive wall.
Yeah, I mean, he controls, so much space, and his footsies are so good, and his mobility's good. And
right. On the surface, it seems like Tom's perfect character, and I agree. The problem is he doesn't use the tools right, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He's literally trying to patch a wall with a screwdriver. You just gotta screw it, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why he doesn't like Trident Rush. It's so good. I mean, it's obviously one of the best tools in the game. I mean, there's a lot of strong tools in the game, but it's obviously a really good one. It's part of what makes Aquaman Aquaman. I feel like I wouldn't have any problems against any Aquaman players that didn't use Trident Rush, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
how is he supposed to open you up without it? He plays good footsies, but if you're really patient, he's not going to chip you if he doesn't use Trident Rush.
Right.
It's not going to make you move at any point.
I agree. But I think that's the whole point. I think, and it's funny because I rarely agree with NRS designs, but I think actually Aquaman's kind of designed kind of well, where he doesn't really have good mix-ups. I think Tom is right on the unsafe 50-50 part, but he's wrong in the where it makes him a not very good character. It makes him have a flaw where he only has to pretty much go for Trident Rush, because I think that's how he was designed. He's just this wall that does Trident Rush when you get in on him, and he just chips you, and he's out damaging you that way instead of by opening you up all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So there's some people out there who go Aquaman, terrible design. I really don't think he is. I think he's just stupid, which happens. Good designs are often stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I get how he's somewhat designed to play, just like you said. He's not supposed to be a mix-up character. He's like a defensive, safe character. Right.
He's literally a charge character that's not a charge, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you did a Street Fighter game, From the Deep would be a charge move. And super 100 hand slap. Trident Rush would be a mashable move. And then his down 2 would be like his Crouching Fierce or something. Except in this game, it's all backwards, so.
Yeah. Do you think that if Trident Rush was a mash move, like 100 hand slap, do you think people would still be able to do it in this game? Do you
Not
think people?
with the goofy ass way the inputs are. Absolutely not.
You don't think so at all?
I think it would be like the older. It would be like doing because even in ST, some of the mash moves are really goofy. Like DJ's machine gun upper. That's a really weird mash move. Like the mashing literally has to be like timed. It's like controlled randomness, and it sucks. And I don't think it would work good in an NRS game. Sorry, bro. Sorry, Hector.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they didn't put it in, so
that's true.
I mean,
they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, we're not doing.
Yeah, but I mean, and look at this tournament. Tom was like nowhere near top 8. I don't think and why? I mean, we don't see his play ever, so we don't know. We can only speculate. But you got to. I always think he's playing, and he'll say too smart, but it's not too smart. He's playing like an idiot, is what it is. And I think if you're saying you play too smart, you're just not. You're not in the right mindset.
Yeah, I agree. Not in the right mindset for fighting games.
Right.
Basically, I feel.
Let me segue that by going into Wednesday Night Fights. Because we had Wednesday Night Fights this week, which I was a part of. And the grand finals was Slayer versus Theo.
Yep, the classic.
Yeah, the classic. And Slayer won with Wake Up Laser Beam. Now, on paper, and Steve was tearing about this makes no sense. And I don't even think he meant to do it. I think literally his low scoop went the other way. But even then, it makes sense. He tried to wake up attack when you probably didn't expect it. And you know what? That's kind of smart sometimes. So, like, we can all get on our high horse and complain about, oh, God, what a scrubby fucking wake up that was, blah, blah, blah. It fucking worked. Hold that shit.
Yeah, man, I mean, we've been losing to Superman wake-ups for months now, but, I mean, that's all part of the, the read. It's like, they can mash wake-up 8 times in a row, and if it works, it works. Like, that's on you for not baiting it,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Now, that's why, because a lot of people like to say, like, Superman has shit wake-ups. I really disagree.
Do people really say that?
Some people do.
I'm mad now that people would say that.
And I gotta say, because, first of all, he has fully invincible ones, so that's a step up. And Rising Grab is a weird wake-up. Like, sometimes you just don't punish it.
Yeah, it's hard to punish. I mean,
because he lands and he kind of just recovers. Like, you got to hit him in the air.
Yeah. On top of that, he ducks when he lands, so most highs whiff. So, like, if you bait it and try to punish it with a standing one, a lot of the time the standing one will whiff because he's ducking. Right. And then you'll get down one or something, and yeah, it's hard. It's very reminiscent of Cyrax's anti-air grab in Mortal Kombat 9, which
right, yeah, exactly,
punished a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
And it's a great anti-cross-up. Like, if you're trying to cross him up on wake-up, that's a great response. Rising grab. So, I mean, and his wake-ups are good, so, like, he's one of those guys that commands a lot of respect on the wake-up game, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he has multiple wake-ups that you have to deal with differently, and even if you do manage to, like, cross him up and make his inputs come out backwards, something else is going to come out. I mean, if you try to bait Rising Grab and make it come out backwards, breath can come out, and then you're blocking a breath, and then you're back in the 4-3 breath loop, and then, or, if you try to, for instance, bait a scoop, so maybe a laser will come out, and maybe you'll be ducking and trying to bait the scoop. Well, oh, hey, a laser came out and he meter burned it, so that's an overhead.
Right, exactly, yeah.
And, I mean, he's very flexible as far as wake-ups go.
Yeah, so, yeah, I don't agree that he has bad wake-ups, but we saw it use... it was a pretty typical Aquaman versus Superman set. A lot of lasers, a lot of from the deep check. I mean, these two players are very experienced with each other, as much as, the matchup itself. So it was pretty good, even back and forth match. I don't know if it was a bracket reset. I wasn't.
It was. Theo did reset the bracket on Slayer, but then Slayer won the reset.
Right, okay. Before that, it was Tyrant versus Slayer, another classic.
Yeah, well, no, first before, or after that, before Grand Finals, it was Theo versus Tyrant.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, yeah. Slayer versus Tyrant was Winners Finals. Right. Yeah. And Grundy versus Aquaman. Goofy little match, but... very. Yeah, and I believe Theo lost it earlier that night.
He did, yes. That is who knocked him into losers. And Theo, he doesn't have nearly as much success using Aquaman against Grundy as he does with Superman. But he does seem like he's learning the matchup better. I've explored the matchup a little bit. It's not bad for Aquaman. It's not too bad for Aquaman. There's a lot of weird little things that you can do in it. But, I mean, Tyrant has been beating Theo's Aquaman from what I've seen. But
yeah,
he turned it around that time.
Oh, he certainly did, yeah. Because really, Aquaman all it takes is a few hits to get going.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can turn around really quick. Slayer put Tyrant into the losers, I believe.
Yeah. In winners finals.
Yeah, and then a few of the pools matches just that we're noting. Brad versus Tyrant was pretty interesting to watch.
Yeah, Brad versus Tyrant is always an infamous match in SoCal. I mean, Doomsday and Grundy is pretty much any big bodies that fight always have a cool match, but Doomsday and Grundy is always crazy. I mean, their dashes are both really good, and they play footsies with these pseudo-slow normals that have long range, and Doomsday has weird throw-me and stuff like 3-3, and it's always good matches.
Yeah, and I enjoyed watching it. It's funny to watch these two giants slam into each other. It's like watching Godzilla. All the Arizona crew was there. So we had Bad Larry, myself, 4x4 Lobo, and B-Wiz. Mm-hmm. B-Wiz ended up taking 5th.
Yeah, man, B-Wiz did really well.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, not to put him down, but like he did considerably better than I thought he would. Because we didn't see too much of him the last time we went over that weekend. We only saw him that one day.
Right,
but,
yeah.
I mean, I've been uploading the matches, and he had a lot of stream matches all in a row because he kept winning. I mean, he beat...
Right, yeah.
He beat Legend. He beat Rip Torn. He beat... Who else did he beat? He beat like 4 people in a row.
That guy, the Batgirl player.
Yeah, that was Rip Torn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Will.
That's okay. Yeah, man, I don't know. He beat a lot of people. I mean, he got far. I should pull up the bracket at some point. But of course, you also got 5th, correct?
I got 7th with Legend.
Oh, you got 7th.
Legend. Yeah. Boo. Sorry. Yeah. I had some pretty good stream matches. I had one with Brad. That was pretty close.
Yeah.
And then I had one against you. That was insane.
That was as close as it could be, pretty much.
Yeah, if you guys didn't see it, it was a timeout, and it was almost a timeout all 3 rounds. Like some people were probably bored to tears. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of resident sleepers, but
man, that match was good. It was Deathstroke versus Green Lantern, which is a goofy match because before, I think Deathstroke kind of clearly had the advantage, but now because low gunshots is punished by lift mid screen. Mm-hmm. It gets into this weird game mid-screen where I'm really kind of just... I want to throw out low gunshots, but I'm kind of scared because of that punish, and I also am scared of back 1.
Yeah.
So I kind of have to resort to neutral jumping, but that doesn't work all the time either. You just lift that too.
Yeah, lift gets that, or the rocket power, the missiles that come from the sky.
Hidden
missiles. Can catch that. Yeah, hidden missiles.
So yeah, we just played this really patient game of I'm gonna do gunshots, try and trade with hidden missiles, punish every straight missile that comes by, and hope I don't die from the vortex. And it worked out. I ended up doing an incredibly stupid interactable jump, which honestly, you just happened to do it too slow. You totally saw it coming, and I know you were going to, and you just happened to do it too slow. So I kind of lucked out. And then you went up what appeared to look like a throw.
Yep, I did. I went up and I tried to throw, man. I'm so bummed. Yeah. Ugh.
And then I punished the whiffed 1 with the unbreakable grab.
Yep.
And that was it.
Yep, it just went to time, and it was down to... The life was so close.
It was, yeah.
I haven't uploaded it yet, but I'm getting around to it. I've been real busy.
Right, yeah.
Some of the matches uploaded, but it'll be on my YouTube very soon.
Right. Very, very good match. And then I ended up losing to Brad and Theo. I played Theo. Mm-hmm. I lost to him. 4x4 Lobo didn't fare as well. He ended up playing... He faced... who's his first... I know he lost to Theo, but I can't remember who his first match was.
Let's see. It was... I can actually look this up right here.
Right. Challenge. All hail Challenge. One of the great devices.
All right, so Mr. Haslobo first fought Crazy.
Oh, that's right, the Catwoman.
Did he go Catwoman in that match?
Yeah, he did. Catwoman versus Ares fucking blows.
Got it. Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Bunch of single-hitting projectiles. They're duckable, and that sounds pretty tough.
Yeah, and he lost that one, and then he lost to I believe Theo, and then Hasbad Larry lost to Flash in one of the dumber matches I've ever seen, and
he also lost to Slayer first round in winners.
Slayer, that's right. Very emo. If you were there, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
The onset of emo-ness was pretty rough. All in all, I think we had a pretty decent showing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys actually had some pretty tough pulls as far as your, the brackets.
Right.
I did try to, split you guys up, but for instance, B was his first match was Nubcakes, who obviously is one of our strongest. Then Larry fought Slayer first. Lobo fought Crazy.
I had Brad.
Yeah, so I mean there was some tough first matches, but I mean you guys did well. Again, B-Wiz did really well. B-Wiz in total he beat. Let me see how many people he beat. He beat Rip Torn. Oh, he beat Crazy. That was the other person he beat.
Oh, that's right, Crazy, because Crazy went Superman. What a dumb idea that was.
Well, he went first. He went Martian, and B-Wiz won pretty convincingly.
Right.
And then he switched to Superman, and he actually won one game.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he won the first game with Superman, and then B-Wiz stuck with his guns, which was smart, and ran it back, and did win the set. Zod versus Superman.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he was doing something where he went to Green Arrow. I think that was a mistake. His Green Arrow is newer, and his Zod was much better, I think.
Yeah, I mean, his Green Arrow looks pretty solid, but I think his Zod looks very, very, very good. One of the better Zods that I've seen. I mean, I've been known to, to be a Zod player for a while.
Don't say that too loud.
Yeah, but and as a Zod player, I totally approve of B-Wiz's Zod.
Right.
Yeah.
That was my first big outing with Deathstroke too, so I knew I was going in with a lot of matchup inexperience, and not really sure how to play a lot of these matchups. So I think I did okay, all things considering. When I was fighting against Brad, I felt like I was happy that I was blocking Earthshaker as much as I was. So again, it's not a match I'd play that often. I mean, just have to go on what I know.
Yeah, that did go down to the third game, right?
Yeah, it did. It was pretty close. Yeah, I just wasn't quite sure how to deal with the trait, and dealing with Venom at mid range. I'm sure there's an answer. I just haven't found it yet.
Yeah, I mean, also, Brad did play. Brad has a history with Deathstrokes. He actually used to lose to Deathstroke all the time, but he really learned the matchup a lot. And FR Legend actually, also known as Lethal Legend at one point,
right? He
used Deathstroke a bit that tournament. I guess he was inspired by you. And he lost to Brad too in the same matchup.
Oh.
Yeah, so I mean, Brad's just real comfortable in that matchup now. I'm not sure what it is exactly. I don't know, man. Deathstroke matchups are hard to tell.
Yeah, I really am just mashing guns. Really am. That's all it is.
Hey, whatever works. Bang bang.
Bang bang. That's right. I actually did that on stream. And and Deathstroke's a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun playing as him and using Down 2 because I think it's hilarious. Down 2 of Deathstrokes is great.
It's very good, man. I don't think people realize it's puts one on block.
It's in the top 5 Down 2s, I think.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean,
because there's there's Lantern and Aquaman, of course.
Hawkgirl actually, in my opinion, has the best Down 2 in the game.
Yeah, I think so
too.
too.
You never see anybody anti-air with it because they're always flying around. They're the ones getting anti-aired. But it hits behind her head and she ducks real low, and it's got a huge hitbox. So in my opinion, that's the best. But
yeah, Hawkgirl, Aquaman, Green Lantern are the obvious their Down 2s are amazing. And then there's kind of the lower echelon, but still really good, which I think would be Deathstroke, Superman to an extent.
Yeah,
Grundy, and Green Arrow, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's slow, but the hitbox is really good.
Right, yeah.
So.
But yeah, Deathstroke's down 2. Very, very good. Very good footsie tool. Very good anti-air.
Yeah, and of course you can convert off of it really well with him, which is important. I mean, it gives the biggest thing about Deathstroke's combos, or one of the biggest things, is it gives you so much screen carry or wall carry.
Right,
and you know that too. I mean, the damage isn't huge. It's what, like 25, I think.
It's whatever, but the most important part is you push him in the corner.
Yeah, and then you give yourself more space on the stage to zone some more, or do his corner combos if you feel like rushing down.
Right, that's where his 4-3 thing kind of shines. That's when it gets to the corner.
Yeah.
And then you don't have like the jump forward option that much because that's kind of a weird thing to do. And yeah, I think like watching his match with Brad, I was just using it as kind of preemptive. Oh, he's going to dash. Let's throw out this down 2. And it worked a lot. And Deathstroke can actually get a jump 2 off down 2 even if it's grounded.
Oh, wow.
Because his jump is so good.
Yeah. Again, like the one big difference between the ones that we're talking about and Deathstroke's, like, Aquaman's is punishable.
Right.
I think Hawkgirl's is punishable, but Deathstroke's +1. So, you can throw it out in foots. He's also lowers his hitbox a bit, right?
It does, yeah. His hitbox is down where his head is.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's one match you can see Brad goes for one of those, dash in cross ups or jump down 3, and it's like, oh god, what the fuck is that going to hit? And I down 2, and it hits him completely out of it because my down 2 hits him, and it's not where my head is, so he gets hit out of it. So yeah, that's kind of helpful, like especially against, like, I've noticed him playing against Lobo against Ares, like if he's doing back 1 and you down 2, the back 1 sometimes has a hard time hitting you because it can't reach you. Because it runs to the hitbox first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a good tool. It's an underused tool as far as like footsies and stuff goes.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, you obviously use it really well, but I never saw any Deathstrokes really use it or abuse it.
Yeah, and I think the one that does is the guy who makes a lot of tech. That's Crathen in the Deathstroke forums. He talks about it a lot. So shout outs to him. He's really doing work.
Dude, Crathen loves your Deathstroke, man. Every time that you're on stream, Crathen's like, oh my god, the Deathstroke. It's awesome.
Well, I was feeling myself because they did, Theo did his little Aquaman matchup chart, which I'm sure made Tom just upset.
Oh, yes.
And in the chat, or in one of the posts, some guy was listing, like, mains for the characters, like, to put their matchup input, and I got tagged for the Deathstroke one. And I was like, oh, all right. See how it is.
Yeah. That's good, man. I mean, I truly do, though, think that you are probably or one of the, faces of Deathstroke, or at least should be.
I mean, there is many.
Yeah, but, you're one of the only people who actually, dedicate yourself and plays him at a tournament level. Right, yeah. And I love... He makes sense to me, that's why, and I feel and if you ask Dumpcake, he'll say the same thing too. He looks like he just kind of suits you. I'm like, yeah, I guess a little bit, he kind of does. Yeah. Because I like Green Lantern, like, again, I don't like the way he has this projectile that hits high, and his mid-hitting one is kind of slow. I prefer Deathstroke, who has a faster, lower-hitting one, even if it's unsafe, I don't really care. I just like having that option. Yeah, the one other thing is, there's no mid-hitting option for full screen, and there's nothing to stop anybody that's full screen in the air for Green Lantern, but Deathstroke does have that option. Yes. So, he might not get as much reward off of it, but he does have the control. Right. And something I'm starting to use more as I get comfortable is just using low shots at all at, like, mid-range. Because you are going to look for forward 3. And everyone's going to block low all the time. I underestimate how powerful it is to have a low-hitting, pretty fairly fast option that close. Yeah. I mean, even if it is unsafe, again, fuck it. And if you bait him to jump, that's even better. Yeah, I mean, again, it comes back to conditioning. If you start doing low shots from mid-range and they start jumping a lot, then you're going to, you can condition them to start jumping. And, his down 2 is so good, like we were just saying. Right. And he even has, like, high gunshots, too. If you have a jump and you can't alter the trajectory, you can get hit by it. Yep. Because you can just fire. I'm literally on reaction, kind of just fire.
like I was doing that now against Lobo. Like and I mean 4x4 Lobo, not fucking fragging super guy. He'll be at low gunshot range and he wants to jump back, and I just hit him with high guns. Mm-hmm. So I can just literally react to, he's jumping back, hit him with guns, move in, until I got him cornered, and then it's party time. So yeah, strong character, I think. Strong character.
Yeah, I mean, you had a good first showing with him, and then obviously You're gonna keep going.
Yeah, hopefully.
Book of Slade.
The Book of Slade, yeah. I've slacked off on it recently, but it'll get full. So that's another thing I have to do is like I have setups, but I don't do them all the time. They're just not locked in yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'll get it.
Do you guys plan on coming down more?
Lobo said he's trying to make it like a kind of once a month thing.
Uh-huh.
If we can, because I usually get Wednesdays off, and I work late Thursdays. Of course, now the problem is I'm going to have school.
Uh-huh.
But I still don't have school till like 11. So we just might have to leave earlier.
Yeah.
We could probably squeeze in another one here or there,
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, it was a good time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun too. Because now we're all, we all kind of know each other now. So it's not like we don't have that awkward. We're kind of just, standing around as the invaders.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like, I mean, for instance, you and B-Wiz did well, but I mean, I know that Larry and 4x4 Lobo are both very good players, and I feel like they could have potentially done better. Maybe maybe it was the bracket, or maybe they were just burned out from the ride. But I'd like to see them try again, because
the ride does kind of suck.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, but yeah, I mean, we can. Yeah, maybe we'll figure something out, because it's fun, and it's fun to go. And now it's on Xbox, so I don't. Because really, we honestly didn't go because of the PS3. Like, that's how much we all hate playing on PS3. And, because I don't know if you know, like, Ares literally was fucked up on PS3.
Yeah, he's one of the laggiest characters.
Yeah, him and Scorpion. So, yeah, that was bad. But now it's on Xbox, it's all cool. You guys run it, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, that's actually new. For those who don't know, we've been running the actual bracket. I've been actually running the bracket with help from everybody, of course. So I've been running the bracket and the stream and trying to play my matches. It's been kind of hectic, but it's nice. Shout out to Watson for letting us do that. At least while Via is gone, because Via wasn't there. But it lets us have some pretty good control over our own tournament.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I know B-Wiz unfortunately didn't have as great a time. One of the regular Street Fighter players, a guy named Driftwood, was very vocal during a lot of his matches.
Yeah, I did notice that. I actually I didn't know what it was about, but I got kind of pissed off at the guy. I turned to him and I yelled at him. I was like, dude, you need to stop. They're playing tournament matches.
Right.
I was like, I don't care if you have beef with him, but don't do it right now. And I was gonna go over there to him, but what exactly did happen there? What is the situation?
Okay, so Driftwood used to live in Arizona. His name is Nick, if you guys don't know. He's a very good Street Fighter player. Him and another friend we had, and there was another guy named a Japanese Steve, and that's he's not even Japanese. He might be Japanese. I don't know. He's from Tucson. Anyways, so back in 2011, they all went to Evo together, and B-Wiz went with them kind of last minute, I guess, because that was back when B-Wiz lived closer to the kind of the Tucson area.
Got it.
And they went to Evo, and I guess what happened is B-Wiz did not end up paying his share of the ride and the hotel, and has not to this day. Which, that money runs deep. Yeah. So, yeah, that was kind of his issue there.
Got it.
Yeah. And I mean, and I don't mean to put B-Wiz on blast because it's a kind of an awkward situation, but you got to pay up, man. If you're going to somewhere with somebody and they're offering you a ride and you're in their hotel room, it's not even. You can't even not think, oh, he's not going to ask for money. You have to at least offer. Mm-hmm. You cannot. I don't think it's fair to do that to someone who drove you that way.
Yeah, I mean, but also, on the other side, I don't care if you have beef with somebody, but I mean that was really unprofessional of that Driftwood.
Oh, I totally disagree. Yeah.
He shouldn't be, because he was yelling at B-Wiz during tournament matches, and yelling at people around him, and he was kind of making a little bit of a scene, and that's not something that you should do. And I was getting pretty mad.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's fucked up.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, I'm not going to take sides in the argument. I don't know what happened.
Right.
I'm
not, and I don't really want to choose a side, but I do think like stiffing someone on money sucks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something you really shouldn't do. But I mean, yeah, it still was fucked up. I agree, it was kind of fucked up. But hopefully, it'll all work out or whatever. But
yeah, did they like talk to each other at all?
There was a little snipping after Watson closed up shop, but that was kind of it.
Snipping, huh?
Yeah, snipping. That's what I would call it, because it's not. That's where it's not quite a full-fledged argument. You're just kind of making passive-aggressive statements at each other. Got it. That's snipping. Basically what Tom does to everybody.
Man, you're really putting Tom on blast tonight.
I'm kind of fed up.
You're done with the Tom?
I'm just... Why is he considered a top player? In Injustice. Okay, MK, you got a point. Even though I would disagree. But still.
I don't know. I mean, it's arguable. I've been talking with someone in SoCal recently. I won't say their name because I don't know if they want to publicly say it about the same thing. And they always come up to me and they're like, why do people still listen to Tom?
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't placed well in so long. And but still he's considered the best Aquaman by some. I don't know. I mean, I think it is starting to fade. A lot of people are agreeing on this same thing recently. I mean, did you see Pig's thread?
About a Trident Rush?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I don't think people understand. That thread was not saying, oh my god, Aquaman down players. It was saying, oh my god, Tom.
Tom, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Because I mean, you can't disagree with that either. I mean, he was... That match... Rico literally only did down one Trident Rush. It was amazing. And he beat the guy who's probably beaten Tom quite a few times, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, he beat Tom there, and he actually beat Tom tonight. We're talking about Arma, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so Arma beat Tom at Defend the North, and he beat him tonight again.
See, what the break. Fuck? That should be the straw that breaks the fucking camel's back.
Yeah, and I could be wrong. I'm assuming that Arma went Batman on him. But Arma could have gone...
Bane.
He could have gone Bane, but... I mean, if he did go Batman, that's a match you shouldn't be losing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's... I mean, again, Tom just... And I know we all feel bad for him because he's like a pilgrim of MK or whatever the fuck. But the buck has to stop, man. It's... When you literally lose to the same person, but the other guy wins doing a very, very simple strategy that just works, then you fucking need to evaluate your gameplay.
It's true. I mean, to be fair, Rico has always been very good at using down ones and catching dashes with down ones and stuff like that. But,
right. Oh yeah, he gets the game, no doubt.
Yeah, and Aquaman does that better than Black Adam, in my opinion. Yeah. You're getting hell of chip or hell of damage.
No doubt.
Yeah.
But,
good.
And also, I said the other thing is like now it's getting to the point. Remember, ban the testers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, and he kind of won during that first month or so, when that was kind of fucking true. He knew the game a lot more than a lot of people at the time because he'd worked on it a lot. Same with guys like Saban and Chris G.
Yep.
And then he fell off like those guys did.
Yeah, I mean it's true. I mean this is a topic that I'd like to talk about, which is, I mean, I personally am sort of tired of so many top players being able to play games so much beforehand. I mean, obviously we're talking about Injustice right now, but Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a lot of players that got to play that game early. I mean, look at Maximilian. I mean, he's obviously a really good player, but he obviously had a lot of time with the game before most people did, right?
Yeah.
As far as I know. And, I mean, look at Godspeed got to do it. there was a lot of players, and it's really hard to want to play a game and grind it as hard as you can the first day when there's people that already have months of experience.
Right, I understand. Yeah, I get that. It's kind of like the old Japanese thing where like they would release the cabinet like way early, and unless you lived in like SoCal or like a Chinatown Fair, you were not going to play that game.
Yeah,
and it sucked. But even in Arizona, I know we had Saber, Scott Bender. He worked on the game, and so did I think Dr. Dog did. But now those guys are really friendly and they really like to help people learn the game. So I'm all cool. But a lot of those top guys are out for blood.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let me also rephrase what I said, because I definitely do think it's a great idea and an amazing idea to have top players test your game and stuff, but I wish that they would try to have a little bit of self-control. I mean, for instance, look at Tom. We got to look at Tom back again. Right. Tom immediately won Civil War, right?
Right.
And they started popping off about how he was the best Aquaman, and
I forgot about that.
Because I played Aquaman back then too, and he was saying, "Oh, I'm a much better Aquaman, than you. Your Aquaman's trash," and he accused me of I don't know, pirating the game early. It's like, what are you talking about? You played the game for every day.
Pirating the game
for months. Every day for months you played the game, and you're saying, "Oh, you might have pirated the game." It's like, dude, like.
Doesn't that make it worse if you can't fucking compete with the guy who had to pirate the game a few days early? You played it for months.
Yeah, I know, man. It's just like I like testing, but I wish that the people would not be so, like talk to the players, or to only choose players that are mature enough to handle the responsibility of being a tester. I mean,
like a guy like Arturo Sanchez, perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
He says he can commentate. He likes to play it, but he really isn't vocal, like, "Oh, I'm the best Green Lantern" or whatever. He just plays, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, he's a smart player. He's he's really good at certain styles that not everybody can play off the bat. So I think he's perfect. And then there's people like let me think who else was a good tester. The
GTA guys, I think, were fairly good.
Yeah,
they've been informative. Like guys like Southside Jim. He doesn't talk a lot. He just kind of plays with them.
Yeah.
But he played it with them, Delrich.
Yeah, Delrich is a good one. I like him. He's very cool.
There's guys that could just that it ends at the testing, like, "Oh yeah, we tested, but we're just players too." But then there's the other tide where they really want to compete, like, really badly, and then they still are fucking dicks about it. Like,
yeah. I mean, I can understand even if they want to compete, but they just need to be mature about it. They need to not, don't go flaunt how good you are in everybody's face when you're a tester.
Right? I agree. I think it's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Because I would be the best at fucking. You would be very good at a game that no one knows how to play. It's a new IP. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if it was a Street Fighter that kind of played like the other ones, there's guys that could get good very quickly. Even if they didn't test, like a Ricky Ortiz or Justin, would get very good very quick. Doesn't matter. But in a game like Injustice, where pretty much testing it was the only real way to get experience with this newer game, of course those guys are going to be better.
Yeah,
of course. And to go nuts about it, like trying to say you're the best a month in, come on, dude. Got to be real.
Yeah, and then, I mean, you see them fall off. You see them fall off. A lot of them fall off as the game goes on.
Right, and that's supposed to be fine. Like, that's totally fine but don't keep trying to maintain that month one superiority.
Yeah, I mean, don't have an attitude where if you fall off, you're dead. I mean, like, look at Sabin.
Oh, yeah, that too, yeah.
Sabin fell off, and nobody's blowing him up for it. It's like, okay, well, you were good when you played, and then you concentrated on other things, and you're a good tester. It's like, okay, I respect that. But you look at Tom. He talks a lot of shit when he did well. He fell off, still talking a lot of shit. Like he's still, the same as he was the first week of the game. And it's like, well, no, we're not going to respect you. That's not how it works.
Yeah, like, and again, results aren't 100% of the idea of the story, I guess, but they're a fucking nice chunk of it, and you don't have them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the one thing that's missing in all your arguments. You don't have results ever, and you're losing, and he loses to, like, random players, too. That's the other thing. Like, it would be one thing if he's always constantly losing to, like, Rico or KDZ, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But he's losing to, like, The Problem.
The Problem, who's my favorite player now, by the way. And
He's got to be.
I don't know who he is, but
right.
he is my favorite player. Oh, also, huge shout-outs to the other person who beat him at Defend the North this weekend, who is my good friend Revolver. Who
that's right,
beat
Revolver.
Him with Lex Luthor. That was pretty cool. So, shout-outs to Revolver.
Right. Must he remind you of his superiority? Yeah.
We'll
but
talk
yeah, I mean, no, he won't. That's the problem. It's got to be a disorder at this point. And we can say, like, haha, he's trolling, God, he's Tom, God, he's awesome. But at the end of the day, he fucking needs to get over it. Because I cannot take the passive aggressive post anymore. It's so bad. God, oh well, I guess I have to win a major to talk about this character. Good, that'll never fucking happen. Please do. God damn.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he said. For those, of course, who didn't see, Tom did say, well, if I get top 8 at Defend the North, I can talk about Aquaman finally.
Right.
And he didn't, so he can't, I guess. I don't even know what that means, talk about Aquaman.
Now, again, this is not to say, like, oh, God, I'm so much better than Tom Brady and that he sucks or whatever, but I'm just saying his tournament results are not impressive. Therefore, he needs to fall back about talking about being the best.
Mm-hmm.
Is that plain and simple? If you are not regularly beating these guys, which he apparently does, off stream, and apparently, does it. Michael Jordan kicks a lot of guys' ass 1-on-1 too nowadays, apparently, but he never films it. Come on. That excuse I don't think can hold up anymore. That, oh man, he's a casuals monster. Or like the Fnatic excuse where they're a money match monster, but they're like whatever in tournaments.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially when there are other Aquaman that are doing well,
Exactly, that's the other thing.
So, which Aquamans do you think should be the face of Aquaman, then?
Well, it's got to be Theo. Theo, just because even like he's been doing very well. He has a lot of local results to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then, honestly, after that, it might be a guy like... Oh, jeez. I would say Ryo, but I don't even know if he plays anymore.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I know there's certain players like there's Insane. Insane's a good player, but it seems to me like he doesn't know like all the matchups. Like for instance, he played against Maxter's Lobo at NEC.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and he kept doing blocked ground tridents and getting punished by shots, and he didn't know that was happening. So there's like a lot of matchups and stuff that he doesn't know quite fully. But the strange thing to me, which is something I've discussed with this person in SoCal, is that all the good Aquaman seem to ult Aquaman.
That's true. I agree. Now, I agree with this, and I hate to say it, because I don't like being like that guy, but it's kind of true.
Mm-hmm.
Ryo and Insane were pretty good. They weren't, making waves or whatever, but they were a threat.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Theo, who started off ulting Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think he's kind of transitioned, right?
Yeah, he's...
for the most part.
That was the plan.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you can list him, but there's like guys like Wound Cowboy and Rico, who don't really play Aquaman, but they do work with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't know. And then I don't know, is there anybody else? I can't even think.
I mean, we had Flodzilla at one point, but Flodzilla disappeared.
True, yeah.
I don't know where Flodzilla went. And he never really outplaced Tom, I don't think. I think they're very similar as far as placing. Yeah. But that was back in the early days, so he did pretty well.
Remember when he got fucking pissed that he played Superman against you in tournaments?
Yeah, and I didn't shake his hand. It was pre-patch and he was going around saying, "Oh man, Superman's not that bad, dude. Superman's not that bad, dude. Aquaman beat Superman 6-4." And then he lost to Theo, and then I beat his Aquaman, and then he switched to Superman and beat me. It's like, dude, how are you going to talk about how Superman isn't that bad, and then go and lose to Superman, and then choose him to beat me? You know, it's
God, I'd be pissed too.
Ugh.
Oh man, talk about a fucking obviously. Then again, that does lead credence to the he's not that bad. I play him. It's not that bad. It's whatever, which happens a lot.
Yeah. It does. Oh, also he was wearing those. I don't know if you remember seeing the stream. He was wearing goggles.
Oh, for God's sake!
Like snorkel goggles.
Oh.
And man, you can't go wearing snorkel goggles.
Get a gimmick.
And yeah, you can't have your gimmick and then switch to another character.
Right, like if I'm walking around. If I'm walking around next time, and this might happen, and I'm wearing the fucking Cactus Jack vest, because bang bang, I can't play Green Lantern. Come on, man.
Yeah, you gotta stick with it, but
can you just 16-bit went to Frost while he's wearing that Catwoman getup? He'd be booed out of the building.
Yeah, you just can't do it. You just can't.
Come on, man. You gotta live the gimmick. Okay, so I have an interesting story.
Okay.
So I played at Haz's house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I played Haz earlier in the night, and I picked just whatever stage I landed on, and he went to Luthor's lab, Insurgency, which I know he only likes because of the lights that you can dive kick off. Which I said, fine, all right, I'll just learn to deal with it, and it was like 35-3, whatever. So they were annoying. But I would always make sure I got rid of them. I didn't really care about the damage I had to take because I'd make it up. Mm-hmm. And that was it. I just kind of played. So later on, I'm playing Killer Instinct with Citizen Snips. And I know Lobo was playing him, and I know Alex, Bad Larry, was playing him. And then all of a sudden I hear shouting. So, not shouting, but very, very loud, kind of intense arguing. Mm-hmm. And it's about the stage. And I guess Has kept picking Luthor's lab in, when they'd go to pick in casuals. And there was a loud argument about whether or not that's fucked up or it doesn't really matter. Uh-huh. Now, I really don't have a fight in this argument. Like, I'd like to play against optimal tournament things if I would, but I also understand it's casuals don't go so fucking ham. You know what I mean? So I don't really. I'm having a hard time seeing who's arguing. So I don't know if you want to put some insight on that, but that's just.
Yeah, well, I mean, it goes both ways as far as I see it. I mean, it is important to know what a player's setups are on their favorite stage because that might, it's something you might see from other players, but there is also a lot to be said about gaining the experience of a stage, of a random stage, I mean...
Right.
You get to explore, everything about a stage, everything about all the different stages. I mean, I don't know. I personally, when we play in SoCal, when we play casuals, we tend not to choose our own stages. We either choose, a very neutral stage, outside of the manor, or we'll just double random.
Right. Yeah, and and the way I tried to put it was okay, imagine I'm Deathstroke. I have a lot of options in a lot of situations. I can deal with shit. Mm-hmm. And I try to put it this way. I said, imagine if you're Ares and you're just getting dive kicked on. You really don't have a lot of options to deal with it. And it's annoying as fuck to have to put up with that every time because you try and pick the stage. And I get that. I honestly do. Because it is fucked up. And it sucks. Now, again, the natural counter is, okay, you play Ares. And, that's your choice. But then also, I get, okay, it's casuals. We don't need to pick your stage every fucking time.
Yeah. I mean, I think especially once you've seen someone's setups on a stage and how to play them on that stage, it's important not to play on that stage every time. Because, I mean, you don't want to only have experience against the playstyle on a stage. So, for instance, say 4x4 Lobo was to play Haz on that stage only, and every time they play, they'd only play on that stage. Well, say he goes to Ohio and plays Perfect Legend, and they play on,
Luther's Lab?
No, say they don't play on Luther's Lab.
Oh, okay.
Say they play on, what's it called? Hall of Justice, the Courtyard.
Okay.
Well, he may be respecting certain things that he shouldn't respect because he's so used to the dive kicks, and B, he might not know how to deal with stuff like, how you're going to deal with, the Roomba into a teleport.
Oh, that's right.
Something like that. So, I mean, it is important to know how to deal with the stuff on Luther's Lab, but you can't do it every time. You have to give, people in your scene the experience of every stage and every different type of playstyle, I think.
Yeah, I think so. The only thing I do that is kind of not casual friendly is I play the same character every time. Like, I'll always play Deathstroke. But sometimes, I have, like, if you ask, people would say I had a pretty decent Doomsday at the time. There was a long time where I really liked Doomsday. I was going to play him, but I like Deathstroke better. But yeah, sometimes I kind of branch out, but most of the time I try and stick with the character I'm trying to main at the time. Because I want as much experience as possible. And I don't think that's too bad. I don't think anyone will hold that against me.
No, I mean, it's good, I mean...
Yeah.
There's also, it's also one of those double-edged swords where, somebody might get bored, but if you do want experience against that character, that is the optimal,
Right, exactly.
So, like, there's somebody like me who could be a jerk, and, no, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but maybe I'll play you in casuals, and I'll use, like, Raven or something. And Raven might not be my, best character, but it's, I'm going to be using my side Raven against you, even if my Raven's kind of decent. But then you're not getting the experience of, my Shazam, if you want that experience, or, you're not getting the experience of one of my best characters, which, that's an issue of mine. And in turn, I'm not getting the experience that I need.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, maybe it's a little bit more fun for both of us for a while, but, it might not be as beneficial as, for instance, playing you and getting lots of Deathstroke experience with their main and with your main,
right.
from both of you.
Yeah. Yeah, like now I kind of feel like I know the Ares match, or the Scorpion match, which actually is not as bad as I thought it would have been. And fuck Dave. Yeah, so yeah, it was just a little interesting fucking little quarrel, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it all relaxed by the end of the night, but there was definitely some salt.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine how hard that would be for Ares. I mean, we talked about it last time, but those dive kicks are hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Against Scorpion.
And sadly enough, I think the dive kicks go underlooked because fucking there was, when the game first came out, I think Rio said they were punishable, and they're not.
Yeah, people seem to be under that impression.
Yeah, but they're not. Like, seriously, try them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked. It's fucked. Especially if you have two right there, like in Luther's Lab.
Yeah, and it's really tough if you're a character who...
not mobile. It's just...
Yeah. Also, the fact that you have to jump up there to get rid of them, and Scorpion's so good at punishing you for trying to get rid of them.
Right, he can teleport. Right.
Ugh, very painful.
Yes, very painful.
But I mean, shoutouts to Haz for being able to abuse that.
Right, yeah.
When nobody else has. And
even if the rest of his play is nowhere near optimal, at least that part is. Sorry, Haz.
I thought Scorpion was good.
Yeah, it's good,
as far as things go.
I told him too, I told him, I'm not afraid to throw the things and get teleport punished because your combos fucking suck. Like, literally, he'll teleport me and do, 20%, and I'm like, alright. Now let me neutral jump the next, because Deathstroke's one of those characters that can neutral jump, meter burn, teleport. And let me neutral jump and do jump 3, and I'm going to take all that back.
Yeah.
So it's fine, yeah. But, he's got room to improve, but at least that part of his game is pretty solid.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, so... And then he loves that laser, too.
Oh, man, that laser's ridiculous. That laser was getting him so much damage. I can't remember exactly who he was against, but there was someone who he just trapped in that corner. I want to say it
was Legend.
Yeah, maybe.
Because they played on that stage.
Yeah, they did. Also, might have been Crazy, though. I think they played on that stage, too.
Oh, yeah, it could have been him, too. I'm not sure. But it was one of those two. And, yeah, I remember him doing it a lot.
Yeah, upped his combo damage considerably.
Yeah, because then he'll end it and just... Because I think you're at neutral on hit. I think. I'm not, I never tested it, but that's what it looks like. So that's annoying.
Another thing, which is kind of off topic, but I saw. Actually, I forget who it was. I was going to say it was B-Wiz, but I might be wrong. But I think I saw B-Wiz trapping someone in the corner with that laser and hitting them twice with the laser before the tray went away. With Zod, which is kind of broken.
That might have worked.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. But yeah, back to the stage thing. Also, I think it's more so that you should plan every stage now that we are standarding double random or random.
And that was Lobo and Larry's argument.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rules, for everybody. Let's just do the rules. Which, again, I agree with. So, yeah, it's interesting.
Also, I think it's important to, during casuals to switch the stages up so that you can be ready to, adapt to stages on the fly. Because that's an important tournament skill, I mean, when you're in the mindset of one stage, being able to adjust quickly to the mindset of another.
That's true too, and that's something I don't take enough advantage of. Because just now, like I've always been terrible at doing stage things, like background bounces and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I got sick of everyone else being like spectacular at it. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm finally doing it. And now Deathstroke, has some cool stuff he can do because his carry is so much, and he always launches with one of his strings, so he can pretty much always get a background bounce in combos if he's close enough to the center.
Yeah, I mean,
as long as he gets 3-2-3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am trying to take advantage, and its combo damage goes up considerably, and it's not that high as it is, so it's pretty important. And now that I'm starting to use it, I understand like why it's important to know that on every stage, where it is and how you can use it. And
yeah, definitely. I mean, also, if you do want to be ballsy, you can make your 50-50s really dangerous with Deathstroke by doing back-2 background bounce.
Yeah. Or down one background bounce.
Yeah.
And also, like, he gets a lot of trait setups off of do a background bounce or do some sort of interactable and then trait. Because I found, like, Kraithen was showing, like, there's setups where you can literally do background bounce, trait, and then you can make the 1 uncrouchable and 1-3-2. Huh. So now the guess is, do you wake up against that? Do you wait for it and push block it? Or do you, and Deathstroke, if he knows you're going to wake up, can obviously, he's that close, he can just jump. You probably miss. So it's there's a mind game there, and it's in the corner too. He can get a lot of those kind of setups, and those do way more damage than just like shooting guns while you have trade up. So it's deadly, and it's something to consider.
Yeah. I mean, his normal damage doesn't go down when it's traits on when it's traits up, right?
Or just down? No, just gets gun.
Just the gunshots, yeah.
All right, so if you're already in a combo and you already used the 1-3-2, it's fine. There's not going to be another gunshot, so.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, people don't abuse, in my opinion, they don't abuse the fact that background bounce is a hard knockdown. It's a very long...
hard knockdown.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like neat setups. Actually, Sim, who's a really good Zod tech person...
Oh, yeah. Sim was... Yeah.
Yeah, he was making a whole list of different things you can do, like Wonder Woman gets her forward 3 cross-up, Shazam can activate trait and then get a meaty command grab. There's just a whole bunch of stuff, I mean, Zod gets trait and then he gets to do a setup, and there's crazy stuff you can do off that, but I haven't seen anybody really use it as an ender, a true ender.
Yeah, again, it's part of this game evolving. It's just something I think that'll be eventually work its way into everybody's subconscious. But it's got to take time, so... So another thing I wanted to talk about was when I was there at Wednesday Night Fights, as I was leaving, I went to the gas station to get some water, and I ran into you, and we talked a little bit. And you were riding back with Theo, I believe.
Yes.
And as I was walking by the gas station, Theo kind of stopped me and goes, "Hey, Hippo," because we're having an argument. What do you think? Do you think if you're super patient in Injustice, you win more? And I had to think about that for a second. Because a lot of people do complain about the 50-50s that are safe and all this, and all the ham characters can win really easily. And then I'm thinking about who's the best players now, like who's been winning the most. And I'm like, it is those guys though, the super patient guys. Because Rico's winning on the break, and he doesn't play super rush down, dive kick Black Adam. He waits for dashes. and waits for his back two to know where it's going to hit. And then you have Theo and Slayer who kind of play the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Theo's a little more, or Slayer's the
sort of crazy.
Yeah,
but
Theo's the more definitely more calculated, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Theo's the epitome of lame,
right?
Or one of them.
And then also even a bit of Tyrant's play has that in it. There's times where he'll wait and play footsies with one kind of.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he's very good at using that one in footsies.
Yeah, and the Hogan big boot.
Yeah, or activating chip trait. And didn't he, when he fought Theo at NEC, the second game, he just activated chip trait and just blocked the whole time, and Theo couldn't open him up. Yeah, so there's a lot of patience. And then we get to see people that are super lame, like Blind Ducky, and he's super patient and super just like zony, and he takes his time. He doesn't rush to do stuff, and that works out for him.
Right, and then I thought back to when you guys came for the first 5v5 and I was playing Green Lantern. The only reason I won was because I barely pressed any buttons and just blocked and waited for meter burn rocket.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only damage I really got. Other than that, I tried to tech every throw and tried not to open myself up too much, and was mainly reacting sort of to where I got advantages. And I'm like, that's really it. And then it kind of clicked. I'm like, that probably, if I had played, against Brad and Theo, and I'd probably blocked more, not really worried about the chip I was taking, I probably could have done a lot better. And I think he kind of is right. Like, that's what I was thinking about. Basically, the opinion I arrived at was that I think he's right. Like, there's certainly characters that you can go nuts with.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly. But, I mean, if you really kind of pick your spots and just wait out the nonsense, and then as soon as you get that one hit, go nuts. Those guys, I think, end up doing a lot. Like the guy like Wound Cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you look at his play, it's very calculated until he gets the hit. Then he does, all the Sinestro stuff. But that's a strong style of play, especially if your character has really good mix-ups. I think that's why Green Lantern and Deathstroke are strong characters. They can be very patient until they get one hit, and then it's a whole whirlwind of mix-ups and left-rights and
just a lot of guessing. And
right.
I mean, another good example of this is, the one time that I did win Wednesday night fights, which excuse me, sorry about that. The one time that I did win Wednesday night fights was with Black Adam, and I basically won that whole tournament just by not doing anything. I mean, it was super patience. You watch me versus Theo, and I just sit there and I use trait and I block and I tech a throw and I block, and he shoots lasers and I wait for the lasers. As soon as he makes a mess up, one fuck up, and I just dive kick him or black magic him, and that's how I won my only Wednesday night fights. So clearly, I think that it works out.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can even look at our match.
Oh yeah,
it was who fucked up last.
Yep.
And
choose me.
We both kind of made silly mistakes, but still, it kind of proves my point. We fought until we couldn't stay fucking patient anymore, which was like 3 seconds left, and then we went at it. Yep. But yeah, that's kind of how I think it works, and that's why I think Deathstroke is a strong character, because he can do that. He's got tools to hit you long range. He's got tools to keep dashes in check. He's got really good anti-airs, so he can play that game where I'm just going to wait. And then as soon as he gets a hit, he has a lot of options to cross you up with 4-3 or do some dumb, ambiguous jump, or something like that to get another hit, even though his damage isn't that high.
So my question then to you would be, well, what do you think about characters that can potentially get rid of the patience? I mean, we can block and walk back all we want, but what if there are characters like, Batgirl, where you can't just block against Batgirl all day, because she will get it right eventually, and you have to take action. Or what's another good example? I mean, another good example is actually Aquaman, because if you stay patient the whole time, you're gonna get chipped to death. So, I mean, what do you think about them?
Okay, now Aquaman is kind of like an anomaly, I think, where he's one of the few characters that does very legitimate chip in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, he's kind of special in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll leave that to, whatever.
Okay.
Now, to me, a bigger example would be Scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
Scorpion is a character you almost cannot wait out between Hellfire and Meteor and Teleport. And because Meteor and Teleport is safe on like a guy like Deathstroke, for example, you really can't wait him out. Batgirl to me, I'm not trying to say she's overrated or anything. I would never say that. But what I think people sometimes kind of freak out against Batgirl.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like when she's like, you know, if she's mid-range, if she's throwing bolas, yeah, it kind of sucks that it's so plus.
Yeah, it's
and that she can kind of do it. But at the same time, she still has to hop in and do, you know, a long range, a footsie move. Like make a move in the foot. She doesn't completely ignore him, which is like what a lot of people say. And I think that's something people don't think about enough when they talk about her, I think. Like, you really can't just teleport in. Like, that's not how it works with her, I don't think.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I mean, she does have, I think, the slowest teleport in the game.
Yeah. And
it's so unsafe, you know?
Yeah, and then also she can't just, like, fucking bat evade in or whatever, the backflip into one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's not like Scorpion where she can ignore kind of the mid-range neutral game and go straight into an offense. At least in my opinion.
No, I agree.
Yeah. And I think that's why sometimes, like, when I'm thinking about the best characters in the game, sometimes I don't put her up there. Because to me, much like Frost, she has that one issue that where it's like with Frost it's jumping back. With Batgirl, it's where like she still has to rush in and can't just get in at, you know, advantage or whatever. Like she can do cartwheel at mid range, that's a pretty solid option, but it still loses to the backdash, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, her back one's decent. It's pretty good as far as things go, but it's no Green Lantern back one or
not at all.
Superman forward
it's
two.
Yeah. But yeah, and you know, the really like a lot of people give Sonic Fox a lot of shit, and arguably because he plays like an idiot. But to a point, he kind of has it right, where he's kind of just teleporting, and he's just taking some guesses. Because sometimes against those strong footsies characters, that's all you really have.
But that's what he's really good at.
Right, exactly. So it adds to his playstyle. But that's why I think Batgirl kind of like we have to think about it in those terms. And I'm when I say the word honest, I'm being I'm just talking about the mid range. I'm not talking about her mix-ups on hit. Completely different story. But for the most part, she has played an honest game against some of these very strong footsies characters, and it's something I think we don't talk about enough when considering Batgirl. Like she's stupid, I agree, when she gets a hit. But what if you were to minimize your playstyle where you weren't getting a hit? And she was really kind of only boloing and throwing the projectile, her other projectile, which is pretty good. Yeah, but you know, I mean, if she's just boloing, I mean, she doesn't get enough advantage on bolo to dash up like 3 times and do back one.
Right.
So I don't know. I kind of think sometimes she's not overrated, but I think people go nuts about, oh god, she just ignores everything.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that I will say though is I feel like people do underrate her as a zoning character sometimes. I
agree. That's the one thing I want to talk about. Because when because I really like the character of Batgirl, so I was messing around with her a lot. And I always did. I was playing very, very zone. I played very much a fireball game, and I used it just like a Shoryu. Like I baited and then Shoryu'd. So I basically played Ryu. Which is, like, imagine Ryu with a fucking stupid as shit on hit mix-up. Actually, I'd compare him more to Ken, because Ken has that dumb mix-up sometimes.
Which
like
one?
With Tatsu on hit, or like just go to EX Tatsu or whatever. So yeah. I played her a lot with a lot of zoning style, just because Bola, just the cancel, builds a lot of meter. So you can build, and she builds meter like a fiend anyway. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, you can play that game of just kind of zoning, and I think it works pretty, like, much better than some people think.
Yeah, I mean, some characters just, they can't deal with it very well. I mean, if you trade with Bola,
it's a teleport.
Yeah, you're eating a full teleport, which could be, it's 11% or more if she wants to spend meter.
And then you're in the on hit, mix up, which is worse. Yeah. And then, that's not even considering the interactables control she has on certain stages. And that's another big deal with her. That's where that's the part where she's not overrated. Is the some of the interactables she controls are pretty dumb.
Yeah, or her resets are pretty good. The ball resets.
But still, I think that's a point where she kind of does have to play this kind of to get a hit, she can't just really, fuck it, do this. Not like slide. You can do that with slide. But you can't really do it with Batgirl. Like, you can't just fucking cartwheel. Or you can't just dash up and back one all the time. Sometimes, but not all the time.
Yeah, I mean, especially, I think people right now, too, aren't punishing cartwheel nearly enough.
That's
I mean, there is the guessing game. You block low, it'll beat the up version, the high kick, and it'll beat the low. And you can punish either one with a down one. Or if you do the overhead, if she does the overhead and you block high, you can punish that with the down one too, as far as I know. And you never see people block them. They just block and then they just wait. Like she's advantage for some reason.
Yeah.
But
or backdash.
Yeah. But like characters like Aquaman can get like 40% almost off of a down one.
Right. Yeah.
So like I don't know. People they don't punish cartwheel. They just think it's just broken and dumb. But
now, I will admit, on cartwheel, sometimes, like, if you don't have a good enough backdash, it sucks having... Because it is a tiny little mix-up, even though it's not really super good, but it is there. I mean, it's kind of hard to see the low or the overhead.
Yeah,
like,
no, I mean, it is a true 50-50, but,
yeah.
I'm just saying...
It doesn't lead to much. I think that's one thing people kind of go nuts about. It doesn't lead to much if you do get hit by it.
Yeah.
You can tech roll the knockdown, it's fine. Especially if you have a really good wake-up.
Yeah, I mean, the one strength about it, I guess, would be the fact that it's a really good wake-up, too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I agree with that. Unless you're Deathstroke and I found a way to stuff it. I won't talk about that. But, yeah, I agree. And her wake-up is pretty stupid. I mean, Smoke Port's fully invincible. Cartwheel's very good. Shoryuken is very good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Blood options.
Yeah, so, yeah, again, I'm not saying she's overrated. I'm just saying... Think more about how she kind of has to apply a neutral game, like a thoughtful neutral game, before you go ape shit. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, Sonic Fox does somehow get away without that, but
right.
I don't get it,
but yeah. So yeah, that's all I think. I think sometimes if you're patient enough, you can outlast some of the stupid shit, not all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, I don't think you can be patient against Scorpion. I'm sure there's another character I'm forgetting. Aquaman is another one. But like against like a Batman, and I know it's just a lot playing nupcakes, I could get away with being very patient.
Mm-hmm.
Until that one time he tried to cross me up, with bats, and bats don't really have a lot of block stun with one bat. Almost hardly any, actually. So sometimes you can block a bat, and if he's jumping, you can down two, and with Dextro's down two, it'll hit behind him. And you can't hit his hitbox because he's low. So I'll hit him out of his jump, and then I take the advantage.
Yeah, I mean that's how exactly how you have to play the Batman matchup, which
right.
A lot of people don't get is you don't hit buttons. You don't ever hit buttons until you know for sure that you can hit a button, because people just don't respect his plus frames and his spacing, and it's really weird. I don't get it why people haven't learned that matchup well enough yet. But
and also you have to learn. Like to me, I have to accept. Okay, I think Batman is kind of easy to block.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not entirely, but for the most part, yeah, kind of. Like, at a certain point, you get over ambiguous jump 2 and back 1.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And back 2, 3, yeah.
Yeah, you eventually learn, and you block all of it every time. I mean,
right.
A lot of us in SoCal are at that level because we play Nub so much. But, he does have other stuff to overcome that. But,
yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. He has stronger options, still.
Mm-hmm.
But the first hurdle, I think, is learning how to block everything.
Yeah, definitely. And be patient,
Yeah. And then learning how to counter it also in different ways. Like, Xian, the guy who won EVO with Gen,
mm-hmm.
he just wrote a great blog post talking about how, like, all right, now you know one way to block, but do you know, like, 7 different ways to get out of this? So he's talking about his example was Ibuki's kunai mix-up on the neckbreaker hit.
Uh-huh.
Which is dumb. It's pretty dumb. Like, you can't really guess. It's hard to guess. It's very hard to see.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying, like, but do you know the focus out of it? Where you can hold focus at a certain time and then get out of it. So he was saying, like, he kind of contributed, to that Bruce Lee quote, like, I hate not the guy who practiced 10,000 kicks, but the guy who practiced one kick a million times.
Uh-huh.
Like, if you know how to counter things in a couple different ways, I think that's much better than just learning how to block it one way.
Yeah.
Like for Deathstroke, I need to learn. One of the things I need to work on is where he can jump out of things that most people can't, because his jump is so good, just like Batman's.
Uh-huh.
He can jump out of things that like he can jump out of Ford 1-3 from Aquaman. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's really weird. He can jump out of it. Now, I'm sure if he did Ford 1 scoop, he can't.
Yeah, there's no gap in between.
Right, but I would rather he do that. Much more unsafe.
Yeah, start conditioning him into doing that.
So I think, to me, that's what that kind of is the saving grace of why, even though his backdash is super bad, I think that's why his jump is so good. His jump back, at least. Because he can jump out of a lot of things that people can't. And I need to start looking at where you can apply that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I need to start jumping out of things more. Just jumping out of pressure in general more. It's just really risky, obviously. But,
of course. But if you have a read and you really feel on it, I mean, you got to act on it, right?
Yeah, and make them respect that you may jump, If you never do something that's unsafe, then they'll never respect it,
Right.
I mean, I was talking to P-Board, and he was telling me how my rating could be better. And he said, do more random Supermans, the Raven charge. And he said it'll keep them from jumping so much because you're losing by jumping. And I was like, just YOLO, Raven Superman? And he said, yeah, they'll never respect it unless you do it. And that's absolutely true.
Yeah, and that's one of those moves that, because I played Raiden, I was playing Raiden a lot back in, SCR time. Mm-hmm. Him and Kenshi. In fact, I think I played a couple long sets with Ducky's Kenshi with Raiden, and Reno Rax and 16-bit with Raiden. I actually did fairly well in all of them. And I did command a lot of respect. Sometimes you just got to do it, because it's fast enough to where you can't just hold block and hit it if it's coming.
Yeah.
So that's a powerful option, I think, that, it sucks that it's unsafe, but, I mean, so is a Shoryu sometimes,
Yeah.
You gotta do it.
Make them respect it.
Yeah, like sword flip. Sometimes I got a sword flip, I think. Because it's fast, and if a knockdown is a pretty good knockdown on hit, might as well do it sometimes. My down one, it's as fast as my down one anyways. So if I'm in a mashing situation, sometimes. Why not?
Yeah, catches jumps too.
Right, exactly. And backdashes sometimes.
Yep, and every time that they block, they think, oh, he's going to mash sword flip. Every time they do that,
yeah, and then I get back
50-50 or something,
Yep, totally works. And this is higher level stuff, I think. I think it's something like at first, your natural impulse is to be as safe as possible. But I think
some people's, unless your name is Sonic Fox.
Right. But I think I'm listening to guys like when Steve's on commentary and guys like Nightwing Day Zero. I think that's their prerogative. I can anti-air this all the time. Oh, I can play this safe. But I don't like that kind of thinking, because then I think it kind of then you get hit by something and you're like, what the fuck? That's stupid. And yeah, it is, but that's kind of the name of the game. You know what I mean? I think you have to learn, when you're going to play these type of games, you're going to have to deal with that fucking really random factor.
Yep.
And it sucks, but that's kind of just the way it is. It's not an Injustice-specific thing.
I don't think it sucks, to be honest.
No, it is fun. I agree. It's kind of the fun part.
Well, the whole point is that you can never always guess what somebody's going to do. Right. Nobody's psychic, I mean, maybe, but you can't guess all the time what somebody's supposed to do. So the skill doesn't come from guessing. The skill should never come from guessing. It comes from conditioning. I mean, that's I say it a million times. It's like my mantra, but you don't say, oh, he's an idiot for doing this thing. It's like, well, I didn't condition him not to, so it's my fault.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Because then that puts the onus, if you say, oh, God, that was just stupid, to me, that doesn't put the onus on you to improve. That just says, well, it's good enough. I just, he fucked me up.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's really shitty. That to me is kind of that's your way, that's the easy way out.
Yeah, I mean, they made the correct choice in the situation. Right. That's all that's important. It doesn't matter whether they made a move that the risk-reward was, hugely skewed against them, or, it wasn't a really tricky, cool move. The point is it worked. And it won the game for them.
Yeah.
And that is literally all that matters.
Yeah, like we complain about the Oki and Injustice. Like Street Fighter 4 is just as dumb. Just as dumb. Sure, you FADC is an abomination. Some of the backdashes are fucking stupid. Like, there's a lot of stuff. Dealing on Wake Up in that game is sometimes even scarier than this game.
Yeah.
It's like a character like Seth. Fuck that. You got a DP and a teleport and all this other stuff.
And you try to bait the DP, he just wake up EX grab.
EX grab? God. God, this character is annoying. And it's just like, and there's a lot of characters that are like that. In that game, too. It's in every game, really. So, and the only way to do that is to make a one-frame reversal window. ST. But sometimes I don't think that's really a great idea either. There's a middle ground somewhere, but yeah, I think it's just learning how to deal with that factor is a big deal. And it's hard. It's really hard. I'm not good at it yet. I won't be probably for a long time, but I understand that it's something you have to kind of work in over time. And the best guys are great at controlling it. Or using it even. Like Daigo. Did you see that fucking, what was that tournament where he played Gamerby in the grand finals? And he kept fucking shoryuing him? God, that was awesome. But he just got it. Like, all right, he's gonna, do this DP every time on Wake Up, and I'm just gonna DP him back. Mm-hmm. Or that Gandhi guy. Did you see that?
Yes.
That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. That is the ultimate example of a guy losing his shit because he keeps getting DP'd.
Yeah, it's just like, respect it,
or bait it, or do something.
Yeah, I mean, just sit there and block. And
like, obviously, you've conditioned him to DP. Now, counter that. But he didn't. He didn't get to that next level, and I think it's an amazing thing to watch.
Yeah, it was amazing word for that match, but there are quite a few other words that I might use, but I will not.
Shitty would probably be a giant one. That's the elephant in the room we're not using. The best part is the commentators trying to commentate this fucking shitter match. They're just trying to be like, God, this is kind of good, I guess. He's just DPing a lot.
To be fair, though, that Rufus needed to punish harder. Like, he was his punch trying to do a bunch of jabs in a row, and then he get DP'd out of that. It was like
as bad a player as Gandhi was, he kind of exposed the other guy.
Yeah, he did. I mean, in my opinion, he was the better player.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, he won. I mean,
not only did he win, but he kind of looked smarter.
I mean, the guy wasn't punishing his DPs well. I mean, that's all there was to it. And so he kept DPing, and it worked. That's how fighting games are, That's not on the guy who's mashing DP. That's on the guy who can't punish the DP.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, what are you going to do? This is another thing I want to talk about. Been a hot topic, the past couple weeks. VXG.
Oh, VXG.
Now, remember back in the day, back in the Dizzy of the On Blast show when that was relevant. And all they ever talked about was fucking VXG, man. Now I will admit, VXG never used the term Evo Killer in their promotion. Or they're going to compete with Evo. They never said that. But you know who did a lot was the cronies. The cronies. And that's why I think it's so funny watching this thing crash and fucking burn.
Yeah, it was... I don't know. I mean, I hate to be that guy, but man, I saw it coming from...
Oh, you had to have.
A million miles away. I mean,
yeah, of course. I mean, you've experienced this kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there was a certain tournament called Revelations.
Yeah.
That I did go to and kind of got screwed out of prize money. Everybody got screwed out of prize money.
All the signs were there.
Mm-hmm.
The tournament wasn't run very good. And then, they didn't give a lot of talk to, Jailhouse made that thread where he was like, yeah, they haven't talked to me since I won the SFXT qualifier, and I can't get my passport. All the signs were there. So I people who are flabbergasted by this, you're late to the party.
Yeah, and let me be honest, Triforce being involved was a huge sign.
It is, yeah, I agree.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I mean,
come on. I won't fault the man for having lofty ideals, but literally everything he's a part of tends to have this sort of not very goodness about it.
Yeah, I mean, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me for 10 years or so, and
fool me for 10 years. Fool me with that fucking glove for 10 years, and yeah, that was really the problem I had. Triforce was the part of it, and they were so and that's the only reason why I think it's funny is because they were so fanatic about it. Like, God, they never stopped talking about VXG, how it's God. Why would we even bother going to Evo with VXG around the corner? Mm-hmm. And yeah, I agree. If you were probably going for the vacation, you had the vacation of your life, I'm sure. Caribbeans are a beautiful island. But, again, the fighting game part is what a lot of people care about, and it wasn't there.
Uh-huh.
And so, I don't know. And then they didn't pay, which is, oh, man.
Yeah, that's always an issue. But let me say, as someone who's been going to tournaments for a long time, for a lot of different games, never, ever trust a tournament that concentrates on anything but the tournament.
That's a good point, too.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take a vacation, go take a vacation. But don't trust someone when they say, oh yeah, man, we're having a tournament, and then they don't talk about the tournament. They talk about the other things around the area. Because that's the only reason why you would ever do that is because you're not concentrating on the tournament.
No, yeah, talk about Shang Tsung and Tom Brady reenacting the Mortal Kombat scene.
Did that even happen?
No, it didn't, but I wish I did. God, I wish it did. I wish it was videotaped. So we'd have an eternal GIF every time Tom says something stupid. Like him doing that wacky Sub-Zero's freeze thing he does in the movie. You know how bad I want that? And it's never going to happen now? Fuck you, VXG.
Damn.
You robbed me of something great.
Worst thing to come out of VSG was no Tom GIF.
I agree. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, and then I guess there's that big the On Blast show again had the thing where Justin got on and was like, they had the guy, the Rolando guy, who by the way introduced himself every time as your boy Rolando.
Yeah. Hey, it's your boy Rolando coming to you from Saint Martin.
Yeah, like he says it every time. Like, how is it every time you say that? Your boy?
It's his tagline, man.
I thought that was his first name for a long time.
Man, but that guy he was such a salesman, man.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And then he was on the On Blast show and Justin was like, I didn't hear any of this, blah blah blah, and he was like, well, I told PR Balrog because I knew you guys were, living together. Mm-hmm. And he goes, yeah, that's great that you told Eduardo, but you didn't tell me. And he didn't tell me, so what the fuck? The whole thing reeks of unprofessionalism and maybe inexperience, ultimately.
Yeah, I think it very well could have been inexperience. I mean,
which is fine. Every tournament has to go through growing pains. As much shit as we're giving, a lot of people are giving Defend the North right now. Mm-hmm. It was the first time.
Uh-huh.
There'll be better times, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could say the same about VXG, but we'll see.
No, I don't either, but yeah.
Defend the North for sure.
Yeah, but again, VXG, I'm only just giving the benefit of the doubt. I really probably just sucks. So I think it's just kind of funny to see it when they were so nuts about it. Man, I mean, they even had DJ El Toro. How did they lose that? Come on, man.
Did he switch sides?
Did he switch sides to what?
To disliking it at a point?
No. I mean, has he talked?
I don't know, man. I don't know what happened to him. I literally haven't heard from him since then.
Of course, it was such a huge blow-up.
Yeah, you remember what he said there?
Oh,
he was
God.
he said he beat Kerbo, and who else was it? Was it PL or something?
Oh, God, it was worse. It was fucking... Wasn't it Junior or something? Oh, God, it was...
Yeah, I think it was Kerbo and Junior, and he said he beat them if they didn't use Cabal or something.
Oh, my God. It was the epitome of scrub talk, basically. I hate to use the word because I think it's kind of it's losing what it means for real. Because a scrub is someone who just thinks they know what they're talking about. So you can't call someone a scrub if they're not very good. That's not really what a scrub is. That's a beginner. A scrub is someone like El Toro, who was in a Skype call. I remember one time we were on Pig Stream, and he was like, I think in the future, I think Kung Lao will beat Cabal. That'll never happen, first of all. Second of all, his idea of it was retarded. He was just like, well, I think, the Bird Lao thing is really strong. Oh my god, that thing again. And then he was talking about how console exclusive characters should be allowed because, I mean, fuck it, man. If they're going to play, I mean, if that's the preferred one, you should learn that one. Because, the whole thing about Kratos being allowed.
Yeah. Everybody's pushing for some reason for a while.
They're literally logistics. If he's on one console only, no game ever has done this.
Uh-huh.
Nobody was allowing Darth Vader at Skullcalibur until he was on both systems. Same with Yoda.
Yeah.
It makes sense because not everybody has it. To say, well, fuck it, everyone plays on PS3 anyways, what's the big deal? That's not the point. That's not the point at all. So, yeah, it was just hilarious, I think. And thank God he got off the forums, because, man, he said some dumb shit sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, let me say, though, he was the perfect poster boy for VXG.
Absolutely, in hindsight. Absolutely.
Yeah, he was perfect for them. I hope they're happy together. I hope he goes next year and he can win when all the people show up, all the 2 people show up. Maybe he can get at least second place.
Right, exactly. At least second. And he'll lose to, I don't know, the guy from Banjo-Kazooie. Mumbo Jumbo or whatever. That guy.
Let me bring up one more blow up from VXG.
Okay.
I need to blow up Perfect Legend because he went around for so long talking about how VXG needs to count more. Why does nobody talk about VXG? I won VXG. That's all that matters. And then he goes to Wednesday Night Fights, plays us, loses to Nubs and Sonic Boom Brad, and says, "Well, you know what? if this was on 360, I would beat you all 10-0 for free using random select."
Right.
And I mean, that's a really big claim. But the tournament that he was talking about that it should count VXG, it was on PS3.
That's
so
true.
Why can he go around saying that one tournament counts on PS3 because he wins it, but when he doesn't win one on PS3, it doesn't count because it's on PS3?
Man, one of the big things we're talking about PL, can't we just leave it at God? He's probably autistic. Because it's really hard fighting this logic for a long time and going like, well, it's got to be a mental disorder. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, obviously. Just understand what you're getting to when you're trying to get into an argument with him. He has a set plan, and when you go against it, it's not going to work. You can't convince him out of it. He'll just get very upset. That's exactly what happens. So,
yeah,
we leave it at that. He's a pretty good fighting game player, and that's it.
Yeah, man, it's true. But
can't really say much else. I mean,
and I don't know. He was very disrespectful though, and that's fucked up because, I mean, for those of you who don't know, I just want to give some backstory because it's messed up. Like Nubs beat him at Wednesday Night Fights, and Nubs is extremely nice. Nubcakes is one of the nicest people I've ever met. He's just super nice, and when PL said, "Oh man, the game was so laggy," he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm sorry about that. I mean, I dropped some combos too, but good game. So it was a good set. Right when they finished grand finals, and PL would just not stop being a bitch, just being a huge bitch about it, and just saying, "Oh, that shouldn't count. That's bullshit. You wouldn't win. And this is the only times that Nubcakes has ever popped off on anybody. And the extent of his pop off was he just looked at PL and he was like, that I really don't like that you're trying to undermine my win like that. That's not very nice. That's the extent of his pop off.
fucking Barney pop off.
I know, and PL just literally didn't care, dude. PL just did not care. He just kept bitching, talking shit about SoCal, and that is fucked up. He's a bitch, and I don't respect that. I mean,
again, you're trying to put logic in there. In his world, he's gonna win. When you upset that obvious idea, there's no way you're gonna fix it. That's just how it works. So, again, you're trying to fight logic where there is none. There's not going to be. And I understand it's very frustrating to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's the nature of what we're dealing with, I think.
Yeah, it is. But I need to blow him up for that. I mean, he's
Of course, if you have to let off steam, you gotta let off steam.
yeah. I mean, Nubs is a friend of mine. So is Brad, and he basically talks shit on our entire scene without proving shit. So I'd like to see him prove it. Why doesn't he come up to SCR, see how bad he gets blown up by all of our players?
But I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, you can even support him. Like, remember how all GGA loves supporting Carl because he's Carl, but he will still say, "Man, 60-bit isn't that good," even though he's beat him 3 times in tournament. It got to the point where on the last KTP they were like, we're done supporting him because all he ever does is say we're not good. And then that whole thing where he was going to be on a KTP, but he's like, the hours were too late. Meanwhile, he was saying that at 3 a.m. in the morning or whatever.
Yeah, man, it's messed up. I mean, there's a limit to being able to be a diva as a player, being Hollywood. I mean, there's a point where it goes from like, he's just kind of, he's kind of got an ego, and then there's a point to where it's like, you're just not a decent human being anymore, and
that's true.
You need to respect people,
Right.
I mean, don't talk shit to everybody's face. It's
like Tom is Hollywood. Like Tom is like Yeah from The Sandlot. Now, if you guys don't know about Yeah from The Sandlot, first of all, if you haven't seen The Sandlot, go pop it in right now.
I've never seen The Sandlot.
God damn it.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, there's a character in that movie named Yeah. He's a side character, and his name is famous because he keeps going, yeah. Kind of funny. And you're like, oh, that's cute. He's a child. Now, I just saw a video the other day of the actor who played Yeah. He's basically Mike the Situation now. Very broed out, very orange. And they interviewed him on the street, and he goes, yeah, man, I played Yeah in Sandlot. I'm a fucking movie star. I've been on TMZ 10 times. That's Hollywood.
That's pretty Hollywood.
It's the epitome of a guy who hasn't done shit since The Sandlot, trying to say he's a movie star. That's what Tom is. He's a guy who holds on to past glory. That's Hollywood. That's a different thing than what PL's doing. Which is kind of like, oh God, who's the easiest to compare him to? Morpheus? Agent Smith, maybe? Who only sees it's a Matrix reference, but Agent Smith only sees the bottom line of him winning. Or Sauron, maybe? From Lord of the Rings. He really only sees the winning part.
That's all PLCs is. I mean, if I don't know, man. PL's he's something else.
He's kind of like Ganondorf. Ganondorf talks a lot of shit, but he's always gotten his back blown out by Link. Every game, man. It's ridiculous. I'm trying to think. Who are the best villains that talked all this shit and constantly got bodied?
Huh.
Fucking Pilaf. He's like Pilaf. From Pilaf from Dragon Ball. So in Dragon Ball, right?
Uh-huh.
They have Garlic Jr. in Dragon Ball Z. I think Pilaf is related to him. Pilaf is this guy who's constantly running around in Dragon Ball. His name is Emperor Pilaf.
Emperor Pilaf?
He's in the Emperor clan, as it were. You can think of it that way. And he is constantly talking all this shit to Goku about how he's going to win, he's going to take over. Constantly gets bodied. Every time. He has to suck up to the big time, the real guys that can really win.
Like, who's that guy in Dragon Ball Z that was like that? Hercule, right?
Kind of like Hercule, right. But Hercule's like a good guy. Pilaf's a scumbag.
Got it.
Right. So, yeah, he's like an evil Hercule. Yeah. Actually, that might be Tom. Tom might be Hercule. That might be a better comparison.
That actually is. That's a pretty good.
Because Tom is good. Tom is a pretty good player still. Like, he's above average. Can't say he's shit. He's above average for sure. The problem is though when you throw in the superhumans, and obviously, Vegeta obviously has to be fucking Slayer. Slayer's the Vegeta. He's the crazy one. He's unhinged. He'll do fucking dive bombs. When you expect an honest gameplay from Theo, he's the Goku.
Theo's Goku? And
Theo's Goku.
Vegeta?
Actually, Tyrant's Goku.
Tyrant's Goku? Then who's Theo then?
Theo is Trunks. Very solid. Very good. Plays even. Bodied Frieza. Tom is literally Hercule. He's good against most of the players, most of the populace. The problem is you throw in the superhumans, and goddamn, he looks mighty inconsiderate. I mean, he can't land a punch. His daughter, I'm trying to think, who would be Tom's daughter equivalent? Fucking, I don't know. Vidal was better than Hercule, which has got to be a big blow to him. I mean, Tom is the Hercule of the fucking community, which makes him funny and awesome, because Hercule is awesome. But at the same time, Hercule doesn't talk shit all the time. He knows his place.
You gotta accept it.
Right, yeah. Hercule at a point was like, all right, I'm bodied. I'm no longer the greatest.
He was the champ, right? Like, before...
Oh, yeah. They showed Hercule is good against the normal humans. Like, he's very good.
Uh-huh.
But just when it comes to the superhumans, I mean, he's getting bodied by, like, 4-2-3. And he's just a regular Ares type. You know, he's pretty good, but he's too honest. Can't compete with his lasers and shit.
Yeah, especially when you don't use Trident Rush.
Right, exactly. He doesn't have a Trident Rush. He has like a Joker crowbar. Yeah, it's pretty good, but it's whatever. God, that is a very apt comparison. Remember that topic that was a long time ago where it was like, these are the people and these are who's DBZ like?
Yeah, I remember GGA was
New
Squad, and that was the perfect comparison.
Exactly. There's never been a more appropriate comparison. Literally never been. I'm trying to think who else was there. Some of them were super good. Super spot on. Oh god, I'm gonna have to dig that topic up. It was too good.
Yeah, we should do a redux of that topic next time, because I need to go check who everybody was again, because that was kind of a while ago now.
Yeah, I would love to do even a different anime. Like, I'm a huge fan of Yu Yu Hakusho. I would love to do a Yu Yu Hakusho. Who's most like that?
That'd be good. I don't think I watched all of that, but
it's super good, and I think there's so many characters too. That's why it has a little more range of characters, and we have a lot of characters in that cake. Oh god. So, what else is there to throw out? There was something else that happened that I want to talk about. I'm trying to think. Pig joined the Emperors. How about that?
That's interesting. So, I mean, we were talking about that earlier in the Skype call, me and my friends, and that means that Emperors have most of the dominant players of all the different local scenes right now. I mean, Max Intensity has won 3 in a row in GTA, Emperor Max. Emperor Theo is one of the top 3 highest placers in SoCal. Pretty dominant when he shows up.
I agree.
Pig, I believe, it's him or Samar basically in Atlanta, and Pig's now an Emperor. So do they just snatch up all the good players, or do you think the Emperors cultivate good players?
I think it's a clan. Dumb. That's all I have to say. I mean, it's cool. I mean, to me, it's a leftover, a relic of the early days of playing online games. Nobody does clans anymore. But it's retro. It's kind of funny. Oh, there's a clan. Yeah, I remember having a Counter-Strike clan. But come on.
Yeah, I haven't been in a clan for a long time.
It's still kind of funny because the whoever the fucking Emperor of Outworld guy, so outrageous.
Dude, he's a really good troll. I love his RPing style.
Yeah, he might be the best. Move over Derptile, it's this guy.
Silence! The Emperor has spoken.
Yeah, I know every fucking thing. It's not even his signature. It's just...
He just types it.
He actually types it. That's why you have to give respect. Oh my god, it's so hilarious. Speaking of the other day, you mentioned a Skype call. Now, there was a hullabaloo, to say the least, when they got front page that thing where it was a character ranking list. A hullabaloo, sir.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. Do I need to explain myself?
I think you do.
Okay. Yeah. So that was just a strange situation. So we have this Skype call. It's always me and Cage Redfield, who is an online player who actually lives in SoCal, and Blind Ducky, the Raven player, of course. Got their NEC, Smargasm from Atlanta, Revolver from New York, Guamo's in there sometimes, Theo's in there sometimes, Steve and Sonic Boom Brad. We have a bunch of people in there, but the main ones are me, Cage, Blind Ducky, Revolver, and Smargasm. And we were up at 5 a.m., because that's what people do, because we're cool. And we were just sitting there, we were like, hey, what would be cool? We should just make figure out a list of like a tier list of every character, just rank all the characters. I think Smar said that. And everybody else in the call, it was 5 a.m. We were doing nothing, so we were like, okay. And so we just went through this whole thing, and we were just trying to rank all the characters and stuff, and it was for fun. We were laughing at how some people reacted, some of the numbers, and how some people would go crazy. We put Joker's last, and we're like, Quark is gonna blow up.
Yeah, he's gonna go ape.
Mm-hmm. But it was mostly for fun. But we did actually somewhat all manage to agree on this list, and I know that obviously a lot of people don't agree with this list, and I could see where people are coming from. But and so then we made Team Hype Skype, because every time the Skype is dead, somebody it's real quiet, and somebody will just be like, Hype Skype. And so we made up our little joke team, and so we call it the official Team Hype Skype character ranking list. And Smar is of course a mod, and he posted it, and he just front paged it, and we're like, did you just front page that? And he's like, yep. And we're like, why? He's like, because I can. And that's basically the whole story, man. It was 7 a.m. and we just posted our YOLO little group tier list and auto front paged it, and everybody went ape shit.
Now, if I was in a thinking mood, I would have spun it as a meta joke about the actual front page, because there was a time when the front page was like that. They had the tier list of guys, and you're like, who gives a shit? But they were there, for real, the Rio and Tom ones. I'm thinking, you remember that?
Yeah.
Literally, there were so many quotes. So I pulled in my 2013 end of year best threads topic. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I put so many quotes where people were like, yeah, you and Tom know more about the game than anybody else right now. And I'm like, testers! Of course! It was the elephant in the room that nobody addressed, I feel like. Okay, yeah, you tested it. Of course you know it. But this to me was kind of funny. Okay, I never took it very seriously. But a lot of people obviously did.
Yeah, people tend to freak out a bit about it, to say the least.
Right.
But it was a joke. But we actually sort of all agreed on this, which is weird. We have some pretty good players in that call. Ducky obviously got third NEC. I did some stuff once at some point in time. Smargasm is one of the best in Atlanta, easily. And yeah, surprisingly, we managed to agree on this list, sort of. I would like to hear what you think was wrong about the list. I'm someone who's always down for discussion.
I don't have too many complaints. I think Green Lantern is automatic top 10. Too many very strong tools, I think, to really put him outside of it.
He's close. The problem is there's a lot of characters that are very potentially auto top 10s, I think. And he's, I don't know, it was just hard. It was hard to fit everybody.
I don't know, but can you really, can you ignore, all around, maybe super great anti-air, really good ground game, very strong, damaging projectile? It's so hard to say, God, he's not top 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but, if you look at who's above him, it's, I don't know if you have it open. I have it open.
I do, yeah.
It's hard to argue that he's that much better than anybody really.
I think he's better than Wonder Woman Raven.
He very well could be better than Wonder Woman, but man, it's Raven is really strong, and I'm not sure if you've played a really, really good Raven, but it's really hard to explain how strong she is unless you, like, for instance, I hate to say the same thing that Ducky does, but because Ducky's very cocky and talks a lot of crap, but he is the only Raven that's made me realize how broken Raven is, and I've implemented it into my own Raven game, but man, Raven is ridiculous. She shuts down so many characters just on zoning alone.
Now, Now, a lot of people don't know this. There was a Raven player who used to play a lot in Arizona. He actually got out of pools at EVO, and he lost. I can't even remember who he lost to, but he did get out of pools. He was pretty good, but he was the only Raven experience I have.
Was that Lamas?
Lamasso,
sorry.
Yeah.
Got it.
So that's the only Raven experience I have.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not trying to comment on Raven.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel Green Lantern's an overall stronger character.
I don't know, man. It's arguable. I mean, you see how Ducky dominated like everybody he played that wasn't Solomon Grundy at NEC.
Right.
I mean, Ducky's only lost to that and Superman players, pre-patch Superman players in tournaments. So I don't know, man. It's really hard to really explain just how good Raven can be. Her damage is huge. It's ridiculous. She gets like 40% off of every single touch. Her Oki game is really strangely good. She's got these like really hard to block 50-50 cross-ups because her jump 3 is really weird. And just her zoning game is just absolutely insane. And I don't know. It's really hard to explain. I mean, I was actually pushing for her to be higher than Black Adam, but man,
I'm not trying to argue her goodness.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think
you think GL is really good,
very strong. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I mean,
that's all I'm trying to say. Yeah.
They're close. They're all close in that area, in my opinion. But
I mean, a big reason why I switched from GL was I do think that matchup is bad, pretty bad, and I think Deathstroke kind of is fine. Because again, Deathstroke has all the tools. Because such a fast punishing move like Gunshot, it's such a great thing to have in so many matchups. And you take it for granted. Like, I was playing as Deathstroke, and I'm like, now I kind of realize, I'm like, it is really good to have quick fire to punish things sometimes. From full screen, almost.
Yeah.
So fast. And, I kind of took it for granted. So, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. I kind of agree where Deathstroke is, where he's kind of in the middle. Because he's so, to me, well-rounded that he can be in that even spot.
Yeah, that's what I feel, too.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of where else do I disagree. I actually agree with the Wonder Woman placement, sort of. This is a character I think that is and it's not really us. It's vastly overrated by a certain amount of people.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think a lot of us agree with that.
I think they know who they are. And I think it's because Wonder Woman to me is another one of those characters what we were talking about earlier, where you're blocking. And her option, like, she has a pretty good overhead. I'll give her that. But it's not going to lead to a whole lot. And she's very strong in the corner, I agree. And it is kind of weird that she really doesn't need to use meter. She always has, like, it for Clash. But again, I think a character that really, like, you'll see against these certain characters, she kind of struggles. Like Aquaman, or like Green Lantern, or Superman even. She has to play this honest game that's really just not going to work. She's too slow.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have any sort of ridiculous fast advancing normal. I mean, she's got a decent 11 frame one, but, she doesn't have a Green Lantern back one or a Superman forward 2 or something
and
along
again,
those
not
lines.
having a projectile, like, I think, again, she's anti-meta character. In a bad way, though. Like, Hot Girl is anti-meta in a kind of good way, where she's kind of just weird. Like, she can just do this stuff that nobody else can do, and you're like, wow, that's kind of weird. Or Wonder Woman, and to an extent, who was I talking about? Who is that too, but is much worse off for that. Catwoman. Catwoman and Wonder Woman are super anti-meta, but Catwoman gets hit by it the worst. Where she doesn't. Not only does she not have a projectile, but she doesn't even have a good way to advance in all that great, and her wake-ups are shit. So she has a lot of very anti-meta qualities that are bad. Wonder Woman kind of has the same thing too, where she can't do a whole lot against projectiles besides parry them. But then there are some that she can't parry. And even then, she always is chasing. Like she's a melee character totally, completely. Which I think is kind of not a very good thing.
Yeah, I mean, there is no point in time. I mean, there are a few characters where she has a life lead. She can play defensively, but...
Oh, yeah, I agree. She can play defensive, but I think her offense is somewhat lacking when it's not aided by a jump-in.
Uh-huh.
Which, I mean, there are characters that really don't care that you're jumping.
You know I mean, she can back 2-3 a lot, but...
Yeah.
I mean, that's all she has.
Yeah, I think her overhead is her best quality, for sure. It's a very good overhead. Mm-hmm. And her jump-ins are kind of fucked up. But that's, to me, where it kind of ends.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like she can't really do anything better than a lot of the top characters can do the same thing.
I agree. But she does some things very well. Like, her damage is super high, her anti-air is really good.
Yeah.
Sweep, good. I mean, there's a lot of good things about her. She has that, chip negating stance.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to play, if you want to do that, you can do it better with other characters. Is what I feel.
Agree.
She's very solid. Yeah, I mean, but even Grundy, he doesn't have the weakness of having no full screen options. He has many different swamp hands.
Yeah. If there's anything else I don't agree with, Catwoman I think is way too high. That's the only other thing I would probably notice.
I think she's okay there. She does fine against a lot of the top characters in a weird way. Like, she does absolutely fine against Superman. And she does fine against Martian. She does fine against Sinestro. She does fine against Grundy. She does well against Black Adam. She's just a weird character where she loses really bad to certain shit characters. So, like, anybody with, like, armor, any big bodies her. So, like, she can lose really, 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 really bad to Lex, but then do absolutely fine against Superman. She's just a weird character like that. So,
yeah,
that's why I placed her there. We placed her there.
I think Ares is fucking terrible, so I actually agree with that. Joker, I think is not very good. Cyborg, I'm glad, is low, because I kind of think that.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's solid, but it's not enough. Like, it's hard to get over just how much of an up-close game he really doesn't have that well.
Yeah, he's so very one-dimensional. He might be the most one-dimensional character in the game.
Yeah.
And I think that alone makes him... I put him so low because he has so many bad matchups. I mean, he does have some good ones, but, they're all very one-sided matchups.
A lot of people were going ape over the Bane thing.
Mm-hmm.
To me, Bane, and I think I talked to 16-Bit about this. I was saying that I think Bane, one thing that people don't think about enough, I think that makes Grundy better than him. Grundy's armor is more one-dimensional, but it's still really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Bane's problem to me is, like, he's such an awful Punisher. Like, his fastest move is a 9-frame high jab. He's not punishing shit. That's why he's designed that way, because he has to use the Venom.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it sucks against... There's some characters I'm sure that's fucking awful against. Like Aquaman, how do you fight that character as Bane? Besides, okay, you have a good Oki game. That's nice. Knock him down first.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure... another character I think... one of the things about Bane, actually, is that I feel like there are certain characters that, when played at a high level, really beat him bad, and I feel like a lot of Banes just don't run into them, which is weird. Like, where are all the Superman players? Like, sure, Bane wins GGA all the time, but where are their good Superman players? That's a terrible matchup for Bane. Something
that probably sucks about Bane too in that matchup? It's when he gets dive bomb resetted while he's in debuff.
Oh god, yeah. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
It's bad. And Zod 6-4's Bane. They don't have any Zods. They don't have any Flashes as far as I know, and Flash beats Bane. That's Doombox says. By the way, Doombox came back as soon as we talked about him. We did this. He has been nonstop posting since we talked about him.
I feel like the guy who made the atomic bomb. Like, we have to live with that. I'll hold that, but still, it sucks.
Yeah, we recreated a monster.
I'm sure Scorpion sucks for Bane too.
Yeah, that was another one I was going to talk about. I mean, how are you supposed to deal with EX teleport and wake up? You know?
Yeah, I really can't. Again, I agree. I think Bane is good. I just think again, he's a grappler, so by nature, his grapplerness gets to him.
Yeah, I mean,
whereas Grundy is more of he's got other things that most grapplers don't have.
Yeah. I mean, his footsies are better. His straight up damage is higher. His mobility is insanely good. His anti-airs are good.
Yeah.
His you can control his armor better. You know.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, again, I'm not someone who gets all in a fucking tizzy about tier lists.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not. I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just play my character who I don't think really loses. I honestly don't think Deathstroke loses 7-3 to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
If I really had to think about it, I'm like, does he really lose super bad to anyone? Probably not. Even the Flash, I think that's an overrated. Oh God, they're God lightning charge, but
Yeah,
he still has to approach.
Yeah, you have to play him up close and be confident in that.
It's funny when we talked about Batgirl. It's kind of the same way I feel about Flash. He's really good, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But he still has to have that kind of, and he has more tools than even Batgirl does to negate that. But he still has to approach. He still can't just I'm in. Lightning charge only works on some characters and it's duckable. So to me, that's the thing about him and Batgirl that we really have to take into consideration. I think.
Yeah. I mean, we did place them pretty high on the list, but my idea when placing them that high was that if they do have life leads, they're very good defensive characters. Surprisingly, if Flash is defending, it's very, very hard to deal with him. I mean, he whiff punishes well. His dashes are very good. He punishes everything. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
If Aquaman has to open Flash up, it's very hard because he has to meter burn all of his trident rushes and space them all, or they all get punished
by Rising Uppercut.
Yeah, and he can't from the deep end from 90% of the screen. It's very hard. He's a very good defensive character. Same thing with if Superman has to open up Flash.
Yeah,
Flash has lots of options.
Yeah, I agree. And they lead to super damage.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think Flash is super good, and I've thought he has been for a while. Even before he got the super buffs, the dash buff. Mm-hmm. I still thought he's a very good character. Mm-hmm. He just does too much damage again off of forcing mistakes. Mm-hmm. It's too good to be denied. I think.
Yeah, I mean, he especially when you're first life bar, you can make one misstep and your life's gone.
Yeah, and his punishing's very good. Is it tight that I call it the Flash Shore You? All one word.
The Flash Shore You.
Flash Shore.
I like it. I'll take it.
That's very good. I mean, you saw Red Reaper using it as a punish to teleport.
Yeah,
Martian Manhunter teleport.
That move can punish a considerable amount of stuff that only it can punish.
Yeah.
It's the fastest punishing move in the game.
Superman is number one. Is getting a lot of heat.
Man, he still is.
He's very good.
I think.
It's still, again, I think, when you play the really good ones, you remember how much you're yeah, 4-2-3 got nerfed, but he still fucking has that thing. Yeah, you remember, again, you're God fucking damn it. Which is exactly what happened again when I played Slayer, because I hadn't played Slayer since before the patch. And I got hit by a dive bomb thing, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? I still died just as fast. So yeah, I'm not... Aquaman's obviously super good.
Yeah.
Manhunter at 4 is something I kind of think is pretty solid to say.
He's good. He's very flexible.
Very, very flexible, very strong, but has... again, I think against these guys that can go in super hard, like Flash and Doomsday, it's really a point where he does struggle, I think.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are overrating him right now. They're freaking out about him. His overhead teleport's not that much of a problem. I mean, it's a strong tool, but, I mean...
Did you know Deathstroke can actually jump out of that?
Really?
Yeah, because he's so tiny. He's like Samus jump.
Turns into a little ball?
Yeah.
Shit. That's pretty impressive.
Batgirl that high, again, I just talked about that, so I won't really go into that again.
Yeah, it was, to be honest, Batgirl and Flash being up there were kind of weird.
Yeah.
It was something we just all sort of were okay with, but Honestly, like between the top 10, aside from like the top 2, in my opinion, those top 2 are the top 2, no matter what.
Yeah, that's pretty good to say. Zod, I like where he is because I don't agree. I haven't seen why he's this god character.
Mm-hmm.
I get the interactable thing, which is a very solid point.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I think, like, again, because I played B-Wiz Zod a lot, I started reacting to those mix-ups that he has.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're good. They're very good. But at a certain point, you're like, okay, I saw the scratch. He's obviously setting up for that bite. You know, the one you do the next norm and then you bite.
Right, the low into the overhead.
Yeah, I know it's going to come, so I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
Or by the time he does 1-1 down 2 breath, you know, he's already lost most of his trait. He probably won't get a huge combo on me. Mm-hmm. I don't really care. So that to me is where I see. And again, he cannot wake up like besides backdash.
Yeah, he's
his
one of those
wake
characters.
Ups are garbage.
He can parry.
He can parry, but then like, did you see Kraithen's video? Like, it's an amazing video he showed with Deathstroke where he's got mid-screen setups to just dash up twice and back one, beats every Zod wake up.
That's awesome. No, I did not see those.
Yeah, Kraithen, hella tech. Like, the guy's just a tech monster.
Nice.
And he put that out, and I'm just like, yeah, there it is. I mean, and he can do it to Aquaman too. So you know, that's another thing for Deathstroke. He's again flexible enough to learn how to stuff the wake ups.
Uh-huh.
So there's that metagame, and I think Zod plays that very poorly. And it's a big deal. And then I think overall, like, again, a lot of his game plan is kind of just jumping back. Like, I think Pig has it right, technically. Like, because his footsie's really, I agree with you, is very unmobile with his walk speed. And his forward 2 is really only strong, like, I'm at the mid-range normal.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it has a range where you know, okay, it's going to hit. And if it misses, man, it sucks.
Oh, yeah, that's
so
bad.
So really, he can only, like, his best deal probably is jumping back and spamming the fireball until he gets straight back.
Yeah, we're trying to whiff punish stuff with air Zod charge.
Air Zod charge, right. But there are characters
like
that don't give a fuck if you keep jumping backwards.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, like Aquaman or Superman, they're going to be able to deal with stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you just can't play footsies with them. It's really
like,
tough.
Like, remember when Dave was going ape about Deathstroke losing to Zod super bad because he could punish low gunshots with overhead bite?
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, like, well, but at the same time, like, you can't really do the air Zod ball thing. Like, you have to do them really high because you get quick shotted. Mm-hmm. Like, you actually can't, or low shot, because low shot will go under him.
Yeah, and punish him all the way down.
Yeah. So you really can't get a lot of stuff out against him. Now, I haven't played enough to really throw it either way. But just knowing that he can stuff all the wake ups and stop that kind of jump backy game, to me, you got to consider that. And it does suck that he can punish stuff with the overhead bite. But I don't know. I mean,
you just need to play safer when he has it out, and
right.
I mean, I think a big deal is people need to understand how to block him and stuff better. I mean,
now, luckily I have no life, and I'm always on Test Your Might, so I do see these mix-ups.
Yeah, I mean, Theo plays against a lot of Zods online randomly. Like, he plays against Dave, he plays against Pig, and just random people. So when I play him with Zod, I cannot open him up at all. It's terrible. Like, I do every mix-up in the book, and he can just react to all of it. And he just absolutely knows exactly when to disrespect my trade, and just everything. And it's really, really tough. So, I mean, Zod's still really good. He has a lot of cheap stuff, but
I agree.
But he's not, like, top 2 like everybody's been saying.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think that's propaganda. Let me see, just to kind of sum up my thoughts here. The other ones, I like where Harley is, because I think Harley's pretty solid. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really belong in, like, the lowest tier, like some people put her. I like where Shazam is, too. I think the days of him being, like, and I know you have your thoughts, but him being, like, super awful, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, I can't very well continue to say he's totally unviable. When, you know, there was that one day where, not to toot my own horn, but
second with.
Yeah, I mean, I beat Tyrant, Slayer, and Theo all in one tournament, and then the week before that I beat Crazy's Martian and Godspeed's Black Adam. So I beat pretty much every single top character, a top player for that character, in like 2 weeks with Shazam.
Right.
Except for Batman. So I was like, you know, I can't very well say he's absolutely terrible. Like, he has the tools to do stuff.
Yeah, I think he seems like one of those characters where we talked about, where like if he's defensive, that teleport is super annoying.
Oh yeah, I mean easily. No matter. Well, I've always said that though. His wake up game is one of, if not the best in the game.
Yeah, I agree. It's very hard to pin him down. He has a down one that's plus on block, and then he has his down two is pretty solid. It leads into a lot of stuff. Yeah, and of course if you're trying to like jump back from him, he got back too.
Yeah, that was a big deal. The back 2-3 buff.
So yeah, overall, I think he's just where he is pretty good. He's pretty solid. Just has hard counters, but that's fine. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, again, like I really kind of don't really disagree because again, I have a lot of inexperience, so I really can't comment. But yeah, I kind of like it overall, but I understand why some people were kind of upset. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the big ones were Hawk Girl. Hawk Girl's very, very low, and I think that it comes from people were mad about that, but I think it comes from a lack of experience against Hawk Girl and how exactly to blow her up.
Yeah, I think Hawk Girl, it's going to take a while before we can even smash her out.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I've never lost to Hawk Girl in a tournament, and I don't think I ever will at this point. I don't know. I understand the matchup very well.
It just reminds me of the when Costner kept going on and on about how the game is bad because one time he picked Hot Girl and just did Mace Charge and he beat some top player online. And that was an example of why the game's bad.
I think he did it at some Mexican tournament against PR Rog and he won.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but, you need to know how to fight her.
Yeah.
She's not... I mean, if you don't know how to fight her, she's going to blow you up. If you try to poke a lot after her shit, and it's all about spacing her and knowing her.
Meta Breaker is how they coined it on GG8, which I think is a good term.
Yeah. I mean...
But I think, again, you have to do a lot of things that you normally probably shouldn't do.
Yeah.
Like when I played Brad's Hot Girl, like Brad played, and I don't know if he even plays Hot Girl, so I don't really know.
It's his like strong secondary. He plays a lot now.
Like I was playing against him in casuals, and I was doing like a super ton of jumping, just in preparation.
Yeah, no, I mean you have to play. Yeah. It looks like you're crazy when you play against Hot Girl.
But yeah, and it was working. So I'm like, obviously this is and Mace, Wing of A throw, big. They did do that all the time. So I was just down 2-ing, and that worked, even though I was at super disadvantage. So yeah, that kind of thing, and I think so it's going to take a while to hammer her down, put her in a good spot. But yeah, I really don't. That's kind of it. I think Zatanna, she's had a huge turnaround. I used to think she was super bad.
To be 100% honest, I think we put her there because we didn't know what she was.
Oh, okay.
We put her in the middle because we were just like, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah. I still think she's super gimmicky and like has to play like around her awfulness, but
yeah, it could work. I don't know. I really don't know yet.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, again, I don't really think anyone should have put too much stock into it.
Yeah. I mean, it was a 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Mess around tier list.
But. So just say it was super meta as a commentary on the front page and leave it at that. Even though it probably wasn't.
I will say that it was impressive that we got it front paged, and within 24 hours, it got demoted and then closed.
It was awesome.
Yes, it was impressive.
It was the best demoting since Sal's fake DLC leaked tier list. DLC leaked list of fake DLC got front paged.
That thing's pretty legendary.
That is amazing. And also the Emperor Pig joining the Emperors was front paged.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But let's be honest, which I did say in my Skype call before. Our tier list is still better than 99.9% of front pages on TYM.
I agree. I mean, we don't have to. It's not about fucking some dumb combo video. So
it's not about a tweet. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
it's not about a tweet.
Remember when PL was sick and you got a front page?
Yes. Man,
dude, it was like who shot PL? It was ridiculous. Like it was like the drama. Like, is he gonna make it?
Yeah, like it was like right before. It was like a preemptive excuse too. Like right before Evo. Like, will he be able to keep his title again? It's like while he's sick. It's like come on, man, just play.
Yeah,
He
it's
went
true.
home for a day or something. I don't know.
And then it's also not like, so and so wins Injustice tournament in fucking dipshit Japan. We have those a lot. Have you seen those? Like, they'll just be like, from fucking Scandinavia, Thor wins tournament with Superman. That was a lot more pre-patch, though. You would see all these tournaments, these jackass countries, and whoever won would be Superman.
Yeah.
Awesome. You'd see that all the time.
Yep, Superman. Every obscure tournament in recent memory. I remember Northwest Majors won by Superman.
Yep.
Or I'm sorry, not Northwest Majors.
No, it was Northwest Majors.
No, Northwest Majors was it? What was it? No, Northwest Majors was won by Doomsday, but Superman got second. But there was another tournament up in the Northwest that was won by Superman.
Right.
And I can't think. Oh, Canada Cup. That's what it was. Canada Cup won by Superman. Shadow Showdown won by Superman. That Japanese tournament won by Superman.
Yeah.
Just everything, dude.
That was awesome. I love that. I miss seeing that random jackass wins with Superman. Antarctica, fucking the continental Antarctica tournament won by Superman. Oh. Well, it's getting pretty late, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up. It was an interesting week, I'd say, overall. We'll be back next week probably to talk more about it. The last thing we want to do is plug that later today, I think today, is Wednesday Night Fights.
Yep, which will be on my stream, of course.
Yep. And Top 3 may or may not be on Level Up Live.
Yeah, we'll see, but just tune into my stream and then we'll transfer you over when you need it.
It was really hype last week. We're not gonna. I won't be there. Arizona probably won't be there for maybe a little while, but still, all the really good SoCal talent. I mean, they're just as responsible for the hype as we were. So, tune in for that. I don't know what major's coming up next. SCR is probably the next one.
Apex is.
That's right. Apex
pseudo major.
Yeah, it's a Smash major. It's kind of like Frosty Faustings, where it's a major for a game. All the top names come out for that game. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Are they playing? Do you know if they're playing Project M at Apex?
I would assume so.
Yeah, I would hope so because I've been watching that lately. I was talking with Legend about it at Wednesday Night Fights. It's pretty hype.
Legend is nuts about Project M.
Yeah, it's so cool. I think again the way they've made Snake, who's one of my favorite all time characters, is just so cool. It's so awesome. I love the way it's played, and Smash in general is pretty hyped to watch.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone would disagree. Evo was amazing.
Yeah, Evo was great. They proved a lot there.
Yeah, so see it again, and I'm sure Injustice is there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so look forward to that in the coming weeks. Follow Chef on Twitter. He's at EGP Wonder Chef?
EGP at EGP _Wonder_Chef.
_Chef. I'm at King Hippo 42. He tweets more than I do though, so it's probably a little more interesting.
Yeah, but it might just be me complaining about Superman. So
it totally could be.
Yeah, most likely it is actually.
Yeah. And if you guys have suggestions or whatever, you could tweet either one of us. I mean, this is kind of a free-form thing, and we're totally open to doing something. And again, we'll have people on the more we get comfortable with it.
I tried to get one person on, but he flaked out. That jerk.
No. Well, either way, we'll fix it eventually. But until then, this was King Hippo,
and this is Wonder Chef,
and we're signing out.
See you next time.